example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want a chance to grab your full share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by May 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.freedomchecks224.com before the May 1st deadline. That's www.freedomchecks224.com.
Songs have been written about it, wars have been fought over it, and just holding it in the palm of your hands is magnificent. Silver and gold have been bartered, bought, and sold for centuries, and now is the time for you to invest in one of the most recognized financial assets and ensure your portfolio is guarded against inflation and a declining dollar. For such an exclusive opportunity and investment, put your trust in Kedzie Coins. Kedzie Coins is an accredited precious metals dealer member with family roots in the heart of Chicago. And as members of the Professional Numismatics Guild, they are committed to the strictest standards of excellence and ethics. With one of the largest selections of gold and silver bullion minted in the U.S., Kedzie Coins is your destination to buy American. Visit one of their 3 locations, Kedzie Coins and Jewelry on 59th and Kedzie in Chicago, What a Gem Jewelry and Coins in Berwyn, or the flagship store, Broadway Jewelry and Rare Coins in Bradley, just north of Kankakee. For questions or to set up an appointment, call 773-436-0777.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
5:10. Let's get an update on what's happening on the roads this morning. We made it through, Jim Talamonte, in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, so I think everyone else will, except, I hear, up near the Wisconsin border where a bit more snow fell.
Yeah, it's slush around here, Mike, but to the north there's snow, so if you're there or heading that way, allow plenty of extra time this morning. That being said, the expressways and tollways are in pretty good shape right now with no real issues. The express lanes have opened inbound on the Kennedy. What overnight road work there was is gone. There was a crash off Lakeshore Drive at 31st or 31st Street Beach. The crash on the Veterans Memorial southbound Arbitrary Toll, that's out of the way. All lanes have reopened. They have some delays on the CTA yellow and purple lines at Howard Station. There's a police investigation going on. So on the 95th loop-bound side is where all passengers are asked to board. Traffic service, La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today breezy with some clouds, then sunny, high 48, clear and cold for the night, low 30. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 55. Patchy clouds at night, chilly with a low 34. Saturday, clouds and sun, high 56. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
34 at O'Hare, 35 along Chicago's lakefront. It is 29 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. You know, I suspect people get tired of our traffic stories. You know, you and your potholes, me and my speeding tickets. But do you ever do this?
They don't. No.
Yeah, they do. I get tired of them. So I'm sure people.
Well, people I always talk to say, "Is Dan learned his lesson? And is he really have a heavy foot?" And so yeah, I know I see him because sometimes I make the mistake of getting in your left lane driving to work because I see you. Like,
yeah, your car never belongs in the left lane.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I try to move it to the middle.
So did you ever do this? I'm, jaunting to work this morning.
I'm sure.
And
no.
I just blew right through the exit. I just spaced out. I'm listening to Dua Lipa or something, and I'm thinking about something else, and I'm not thinking about the new rules. I'm just thinking about something.
So what did you have to get off in 53?
I got off in Woodstock, and I had to come.
Oh, you made it to Huntley.
Yeah.
Which is a suburb of Woodstock. Yeah, and then you had to.
I had to turn around to Schaumburg.
Yeah. No, I've done that before because then you're trapped. You don't know what to. You're like, I better hurry up. The show's starting. I really better hurry up.
I assume you would stop and just kind of throw it in full reverse on the expressway.
Yeah, take
come
it back
all the way
to
back
exit.
on the shoulder.
Yeah. The first time actually I drove with my father-in-law in Florida, he started backing up on an exit, and I said to myself, I am never, if I have children, allowing you to drive my children. But that's how he drives. He's like, this is what we did in Puerto Rico. No country. We just, I was at the wrong exit, so we back up onto the expressway and then proceed to go forward.
Yeah. In this country, we have power.
Okay. That was one day.
Oh.
They still got the Twins Cleveland game in because they had a backup generator. Everybody in Puerto Rico has a backup generator. Yeah. When I was in St. Croix, same thing happened. There was a day without power. Half the island went completely black. They're still trying to figure it out. And what happened in Puerto Rico, a tree limb fell on a wire. Just one. And if you see it, it looks like a little switch. It's like this little tiny little guy.
That's reliable infrastructure there.
You know what that is. I mean, the wind wasn't even blowing. It just kind of blew over. But anyway.
Somehow that'll be Trump's fault.
But back to car talk, shop talk with Dan and Amy.
Yeah.
Guess how much that little ditty cost me yesterday?
Well, you have to get a new tire. You probably, knowing you probably drove like 8 blocks on the rim.
Oh,
so you got a rim problem. You got a realignment. It's probably cost you more than the value of the car. I'm going to say $13,000.
No, the car was $5,000. Used minivan. It cost almost $1,000 when it was all said and done. Because not only did I couldn't drive it. We had to get it towed. And thanks to Quinn McCarthy for dropping me off at Ashland Tire.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then they looked at my other tire and it was shot. I mean, it's almost lucky that I had a blowout so that the other tire was practically bald. So I did that alignment. No, I looked at it. I don't just believe them. I make them show it to me.
Oh, and you're a tire expert now.
No,
you're all about treads. What do you like?
Trust but verify.
Marissa Tomei from My Cousin Vinny.
Trust but verify. Put the car up on the lift. Let me take a little look, see at the tires.
Every time you go in for a tire, it's just up to you. But your back passenger side tire, there's a little bubble in it, and that has a likelihood of blowing out and killing you, and probably people around you. I mean, but your call. You don't have to buy another one.
Do you think they're scamming me?
No.
But I asked him, and God bless Mike Scott for printing up the claim form. I said, hey, because Ashland Tire's been around for, 20, 30 years.
What is
the
that?
claim form with the city.
What does that
because
have to do with
I
the
hit
city?
a pothole. And
no, what does that have to do with Ashland Tire?
Because I asked him, do your customers ever fill this out? And what are the
results?
And
laughed.
He said, yeah, Amy, someone's sitting there every day writing checks to people that have had a tire blown out by a pothole. And he started laughing. He said, actually, I did have one customer because he also had fender damage from hitting this huge pothole, I guess, on Ashland.
Sure.
And
lucky he survived.
Are you ready for this? They received 3 years later a check for $52.
Right.
So they don't give you, even if you submit a claim for $300 or $500, they don't give you the entire amount because no one's sitting there writing a check. They give you, because your car has wear and tear on it, what it would be, the damage was done that they think some random person would.
This is revelatory only to you.
I never.
By the way, number two, they do actually have not just a person sitting there writing checks; they have a whole department, and they just wait. Every 3 years, they get together, the 15 supervisors and the one check writer, and they decide how much the one check they write that year is going to be.
But they go to great lengths. Like they'll take surveillance cameras. You know how we have them set up everywhere. And if they filled a pothole because they don't want to, make sure there's no fraudulent behavior, no
of
fraudulent
course.
claims.
If there's one thing the city of Chicago has zero tolerance for, it's fraud.
So should I fill out the claim? I took a picture.
Let me tell you something. You know the story about how it's not worth Bill Gates to bend down to pick up a $100 bill if he saw it on the sidewalk because it's just not worth his time.
Oh, really?
He makes more money just continuing on to wherever he's going to be productive. This was back when he was CEO of Microsoft, not when he was misspending his philanthropic dollars. That's the same story for you. Different. It is literally not worth your time to fill that out in the hopes that 3 years from now you're going to get a check for $48.15.
I won't waste my stamp.
So this is, where you say this is the price of living in a kleptocracy, and this is the life I've chosen, and you move on. I'm sorry it doesn't have a happy ending.
Where is my automobile?
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Today, breezy with some clouds, then sun. A high of 48 degrees. The snow, just the dust, and it's kind of slushy out there, actually. Tomorrow, Friday, mostly sunny and nice. Finally, a high of 55 degrees. There you go. I hope we've made it. Any problems on the roadways with the slushy snow mix? Let's get the latest in our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Well, for the most part, the expressways and tollways are in pretty good shape, though some of the side streets have some slush, and to the north there is snow. The Eden's fine right now. The Kennedy looks good. Reversibles are open inbound. No delays to report yet on the Eisenhower or the Stevenson. Inbound Ryan, traffic's heavy, 18th into the Burn Circle, 17 minutes, 95th to downtown. It's clear outbound. Inbound Bishop Ford, 2-minute delay, 103rd of the merge. Tollways are fine. There was a crash on the Veterans Memorial, 355 at the Army Trail toll. That's all out of the way. All lanes have reopened. Things are fine right now in northwest Indiana. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Wow. It's officially spring with snow on the ground, and I suggest you add this to your spring cleaning. Throw out that old flat pillow or donate it and buy your very own new MyPillow. Not only will it keep its shape and adjust to your ideal sleeping position, but you can wash and dry it whenever you want. And yes, the best MyPillow 4-pack deal is still available. Go online or call now to take advantage of this great deal. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the MyPillow 4-pack, 2 premium MyPillows, 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at half off. Start spring out right. No more headaches or stiff neck with your hypoallergenic Made in America MyPillow with the 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack. Call 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy. That's 800-489-0201. Tell them Amy sent you.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now, your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit globalverificationnetwork.com or call 877-695-1179 or visit them online at globalverificationnetwork.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the Ace Buy One, Get One Free sale. Don't miss great Buy One, Get One Free deals throughout the store. So many BOGOs, we can't name them all. Start the season right with savings on quality products from Scott's, Roundup, Ortho, and more. There are so many BOGOs and so many ways to save. Hurry in. The Ace Buy One, Get One Free sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Buy select item and get designated item free. See store for details.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out, GreatParkingLots.com.
Go to GreatParkingLots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Special early season discounts if you act now. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we mentioned it yesterday on the occasion of discussing Barbara Bush's passing and the former First Lady's life and times, that Fresno State University English professor Randa Jarrar, she took to Twitter and in classic leftist fashion, politicized Barbara Bush's death, saying things like, "I'm glad the witch is dead. I hope the rest of the Bushes follow suit soon," calling her a racist and the Bush family racist, and just going on, and responding to those who said that, that was perhaps a bit insensitive,
you think?
Poor timing, lacking class, not being anything approximating the lady that Barbara Bush was. Jarrar said, "I'm a tenured professor. I make $100,000.
Don't you touch me.
Nobody can touch me, and I'll always have a job because people will always want to pay for what I have to say." Huh.
Oh, tell me she got fired.
Suspended? She is the president, of Fresno State is apologizing for Professor Jarrar's comments. Fresno State President Joseph Castro, who recently announced he would be stepping down as president of Cuba, he said that Randa Jarrar's personal views run contrary to the university's core values of mutual understanding and progress. We now have to go on a tangent to discuss Fresno State's core values. In addition to what Jarrar's core values appear to be, she has since moved her Twitter account to private.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So since we have a English professor who's a child, we have to have the university president apologize on her behalf. No apology from her to this point or anything other than moving her Twitter account to private. Because, you have to pay for what Randa Gerard has to say because it's so important.
Well, Jeb Bush, Jeb, who loves his dad. He'd kill for his dad. I love my dad.
Did you see the Onion headline?
No, was it? What was it?
Barbara Bush passes away surrounded by loved ones, Jeb.
That is so mean. Well, guess what? Jeb Bush kept his commitment to be the keynote speaker at the 11th annual Elmhurst College Governmental Forum yesterday in Oak Brook.
Oh, boy.
Many were glad to see him, and of course, he discussed his mom.
I'm so blessed to be her son. She taught us to serve others. She taught us to be civil. She taught us to love your family with your heart and soul.
And he showed up, and the organizer was surprised that he did because he said, my mom always told me if you make a commitment, you keep your commitment. And he spoke a little about the last hours of her life.
He held my mom's hand all day long yesterday, and she passed in the early evening. And I called him, and he said, I'm kind of a crybaby right now, not feeling very good.
And, he got a little emotional. It was touching.
If she was here, she'd say, thank God you made it, because she would have been very upset if I stayed home. That's not a Bush attribute. You commit to something, you're supposed to show up and do it. And I still feel her looming presence behind me saying, you said you're only going to speak 30 minutes, so make sure you don't go beyond that.
That was funny because he went 45 minutes. But how much does he love his mom?
I love my dad. I'd kill for him. I'd go to prison for him because I love him so much.
It's a lot. Did he address the fact that his mom was right when she said the country's had enough Bushes? I was invited to this lunch by several people. No thanks.
Why didn't you want to go?
I'm having trouble filling this table. You sure you don't want to go? Not interested.
Why didn't you invite me? Oh, wait, I couldn't have gone anyway because I had 2 flat tires.
Exactly.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Anybody getting tired of Jim Comey's dopey Opie routine at 5:38?
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
33 degrees. We're following developments from Asheville, North Carolina this morning, where 2 are dead and 5 are injured in a shooting in that city. Two of those injured have life-threatening injuries. Names of victims are being withheld. Police responded around 10:30 Wednesday night to the scene. A Minnesota attorney will announce later this morning whether to charge anyone in the death of Prince. The announcement comes 2 years after the music icon's body was found in an elevator on his Paisley Park estate. Prince died of a massive overdose of fentanyl, you may recall, in April of 2016. President Trump is still hoping to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in the coming weeks.
If I think that it's a meeting that is not going to be fruitful, we're not going to go. If the meeting when I'm there is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave the meeting.
During a news conference with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in Florida yesterday, the president says he wants to see a peaceful and nuclear-free Korean peninsula. Western Oklahoma is dealing with raging wildfires. 45 homes damaged. 280,000 acres have been scorched. 2 have died. 3 men are convicted of plotting to bomb a mosque and an apartment complex set aside for Somali refugees in Kansas. Federal jury yesterday found Gavin Wright, Curtis Allen, and Patrick Stein guilty of conspiracy to use a weapon of mass destruction. Authorities are again investigating the death of former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster's father. It was reported Wednesday the death of 84-year-old H.R. McMaster Sr. is now suspicious after allegations that he did not receive proper treatment. McMaster died at a retirement community in Philadelphia last week. Bail is set at $250,000 for a Des Plaines woman accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill the wife of a man with whom she had an affair. Authorities are still trying to identify those 2 found dead after a fire tore through a Highland Park home. The author of a plan to ban tackle football in the state for anyone under the age of 12 says she does not have enough support to pass that ban. And New York City's health department has been wrestling with a knotty problem, whether or not to say yes to goat yoga. They finally said no. You know the trendy workout in which a baby goat climbs onto your back while you're doing other poses like the downward dog and such. Well, pop-up studios have been trending in Brooklyn, offering $40 classes. They plan to open up several more this week, but they cannot now get a permit because getting up and close and personal with a goat in New York City violates health department laws. Chicago sports, A's over the White Sox 12-11 in 14 innings. Cubs and Cardinals postponed due to inclement weather. The news, a service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. 5:33, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher isn't going to get pushed around.
There's so much ugliness out there, and I admit, I kind of contributed to it yesterday. Now, you know me. Somebody calls me and acts like a jerk to me, like a few of you did yesterday. I'm not going to just roll over because I didn't like the way the tone went with some of our callers.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Stop by a Subway restaurant for the new double meat signature wraps for just $6.99 each. Prices may vary. Additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
There's always that time of day when the sun creates havoc at the office.
This is ridiculous.
You're literally blinded by the light. Can't see a thing on your computer monitor and feel like you're baking in an oven. Make your office or storefront distraction-free with custom shades from 1-800-4BLINDS. You'll keep your customers comfortable, protect furnishings and decor from fading, and have happy, productive employees that don't have to stop in the middle of a project because of the glare. 1-800-4BLINDS can get the job done quickly with their local in-house installation crew. You'll save money on window treatments that not only look great, but will also help you shrink utility bills with special heat-reducing shades that can trap heat between the window and shade. They also offer custom painted solar shades with your logo or photo image printed directly on the shade. Get the sun out of your eyes. Call 1-800-4BLINDS direct for a consultation today. 773-447-5448 or visit 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com. That's 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com.
5:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In West Chicago, reports of some slick conditions on 59, and in fact, 59 has been shut down between Main Street in West Chicago and Conde Street. There are a number of crashes there. Clarendon Hills, there's a collision. 83 at Ogden. Careful on the roads. Expressways have been mostly crash-free in the last couple of hours. No issues right now in the Edens from Kennedy. Eisenhower inbound. Traffic slow 25th to Harlem. 32 minutes, 390 to downtown. Up on 29. On Stevenson, delays start at Central. 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 25 minutes, 8094 to the Merge. Toys are good. Traffic service of Shell. Get the feeling of being rewarded with gold status at Shell with the Fuel Rewards program. Start saving on your very first fill and continue to save on every fill every day. Download the Fuel Rewards app. Join and start saving today. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, breezy. We'll have some clouds this morning. Sunshine is supposed to break out this afternoon, and we'll top out at 48. 33 right now. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. My former colleague Jim Jordan is a great conservative. He'd make a great speaker. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Is that right?
Today's National High Five Day. I am the queen of high five. Because people start doing the fist bump stuff and no, I'm a high fiver. Don't leave me hanging. Oh, you will. See, that is really.
I'm a low five guy.
High five.
And
then I go like this. No five.
Gotta be down here. Gotta run the gauntlet down here.
I'm a high five. You're low five?
Yeah, low five. Unless you want to do like the full.
Oh, jump up.
The full Jerry Rice, Dwight Clark high five. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a different story. Jim Comey making his rounds on the variety shows. Talk about his book. And I mean,
Oh, it's so exhausting. Really, I can't keep up. And actually, I don't want to keep up.
His, I'm sorry, Paul. Don't be sore at me. Routine.
I hope Hillary is not mad at me still. I just want to be loved.
He is really a piece of work.
Yesterday, I watched him on The View yesterday, and then he was on NBC
I will
Today
give,
Show.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Savannah Guthrie and Meghan McCain, and only Meghan McCain on that ghastly show with those magpies, The View. They'll give them credit for at least they at least made an effort to get something approximating honesty from this guy, to at least hold this guy accountable. Savannah Guthrie, this is really something.
Because she's an attorney now, and she used to be a White House correspondent. Just a little background about her.
No, okay, well, I don't know what that
From
qualifies
Tucson.
her to do,
Well-
but I guess to be a host on the Today Show. She and Comey had
I love their exchange.
um
What's your highlight from it?
have this exchange. Well, wait, do we have?
I have Savannah.
What's? Oh yeah, here it is. Here, this is it. I got it. This isn't even Savannah yet. This is just Jim Comey. Are you ready for a remarkable statement from Jim Comey?
Okay.
Is it liberating to have your book out there and be talking about it? Is it painful, cathartic? What's your one-word answer on that one?
Terrifying.
Really?
Just because of all the attention to it, I don't crave that. It's a little it's hard for me to hide because I'm a giraffe.
Oh.
So it's a little
Yeah, I'm
it's a little
tall,
freaky.
so I can't hide.
Oh my! He playing the victim role.
He doesn't
This
crave.
is-
He doesn't crave attention.
No, not at all.
Don't let the fact that I'm doing these 42 interviews this week and hawking a book make you think I crave attention, because I don't.
Could you mosaic my face and distort my voice, please?
Yeah, right. Hey, this isn't about me. This is about the content. And then, she moved on to ask if, based on his cattiness, and as Kevin Rooney just tweeted, if Savannah Guthrie calls you catty, you are definitely a peahat.
That's what I was thinking too. That he could borrow his wife's pea hat when I was watching this interview.
Absolutely.
I think he looked wonderful in pink.
So is he a bit bitchy based on the comments he's made of a personal nature? Oh no, Jim Comey's not angry.
You know, that you might have a little bit of anger left over and a little bit of bitterness. Would you plead guilty to all that?
Yeah, I wouldn't actually. I would take that one to trial because I think it is raw in the sense that I find it really painful to relive. Reading that book, doing the audio book left me physically drained, but I really don't feel a sense of anger. I'm very worried, actually, which is why I'm doing something I don't love, which is talking about it and writing about it, but not anger.
Okay. All right, stop. All right. He
Jim
is so
capacity-
insufferable.
He doesn't have the capacity for anger. He's too good.
All right, so then she asked him, because he used to be known as a tough guy. So what happened?
You are the person most famous from your time as the Deputy Attorney General, going in to the bedside of John Ashcroft and standing up to the White House. I mean, that's your reputation. Why wouldn't you speak up to President Trump?
Well, I guess the question is, what does standing up mean in that context? I stared at him, didn't blink, didn't make a sound.
Say that's inappropriate. Are you asking me to let go of an ongoing criminal investigation?
Yeah, maybe. That's a fair question. But if he didn't know it was inappropriate, why did he kick out the vice president and my boss, the attorney general? And so I don't know whether I should have done it differently, but in the moment, it seemed like the thing to do was just make sure you're not agreeing to do something inappropriate.
I mean, he should have grabbed a pair and been a man and just said, this is inappropriate line of questioning, and I'm leaving now.
Oh, well,
But he
push,
couldn't have.
push back however you want to, but it's like him instead. What he was doing was divining what the president was doing. It was mind games, and so he doesn't know why he didn't do what he did, or could have done, or might have done, or should have done. But he does know that, again, there is no anger here. This is not personal. The details he's giving about physical appearance of the president, for example,
His
so forth.
hands.
That's just his artistic flair. You
Oh,
understand?
okay.
Those are just descriptions to bring the reader into his world, into Comey world.
Some of the most widely cited parts have to do with your description and words about President Trump. I mean, including calling his skin orange and saying his looked like he had tanning goggles. And, some people said that was kind of, for lack of a better word, that was a little catty. Did you enjoy taking those shots at the president?
No, I didn't think of them as shots, and I still don't.
Really?
Well, you've read the book.
Yeah.
You see the description I give of my high school boss in the grocery store. I'm trying to be an author, something I've never been before, and bring the reader into that scene and describe in great detail what I'm seeing. And so I'm not trying to pick on President Trump or my boss from high school.
Yeah, but you're talking about his hair, stuff like that. I mean, I guess some people are saying, wait a minute, James Comey, you just got into the gutter with President Trump, who, you know, is known for his name calling. He's called you a slime ball and a nut job and any number of things. Did you stoop?
I really don't think so. Again, maybe I'm missing it, but I think I'm describing what his hair looks like. In my head, the editor's voice kept bouncing around saying, take the reader with you, take the reader with you. What did you see? What were your impressions?
You don't think you've diminished yourself?
I hope not. And I hope when people read the book, they may have a different view of it than some of the quick hits they've been hearing about.
Golly, I hope not, Pa. I'll tell you what, not since Hemingway has there been a storyteller like Comey.
I think E.L. James might have been the ghostwriter on that, from the author of 50 Shades of Grey.
Familiar with her work.
Yeah, because that's what it sounded like. You know, that he had half moons underneath his eyes. If you read into it, it's just so girly girl. And not that there's anything wrong, but it sounds like the voice of E.L. James rather than James Comey.
I can't wait to stroll through Comey World. I'm taking.
What are you doing?
Next week.
Creative writing.
Next week when we're in Mexico, I'm taking my Borat style thong.
Oh, it's called a mankini.
A toothbrush and higher loyalty. And I'm just going to sit on the beach and enjoy
myself.
Well,
that's what I was saying. Are you going to bring? Have you purchased higher loyalty, or are you going to?
No, of course not. Comey then scampered over to The View, and Meghan McCain.
Love her.
You're not going to hear me say this very often. Meghan McCain did a pretty decent job of trying to hold Comey to account for being the partisan hack that he says he's not.
I want to believe you're not a political person. You're the head of the FBI, but you write in your book about how you went to President Obama and you were on the verge of tears, saying you were going to miss him. You also said that you were dreading the next 4 years with Trump. You said very incendiary things about my party this morning. It doesn't reflect all values. It's transactional. It's ego-driven. It's in service to his ego. I'm a Republican who has many issues with Trump. That is not reflective of my party as a whole. The big issue I have is I don't want to know your politics. And a lot of the things you're saying and doing are highly political. And I just don't understand what you gain trying to sort of clear the deck here by bringing things like this up.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think of it as my politics. I think of it as my values.
Oh.
I mean, what I missed about
higher loyalty.
And you talked about in George Stephanopoulos how she was at the Women's March and she was very sad on election night.
Sure.
And
well,
you know, but why bring up politics now? No disrespect, but what your take on the current Republican Party is, I'm more interested in what you know about national security.
I brought it up because I was asked about it.
I know, but I don't. But you have to understand how this looks to
No, actually not.
Okay.
I get that. I think that's a good question. I get that the Republicans are thinking that, but in the book, I'm telling a story about the decisions and including lots.
I'm talking about your interview this morning. I'm ego-driven in service to Trump's ego. It doesn't reflect values at all. I just don't understand why you're so you sound like a political commentator to me more than
I don't mean to be. I don't care whether people support a Republican or a Democrat, because I'm not either. I don't care who they support. I hope the conversation will start with values and come to policy second, because we're always going to fight about guns and taxes and immigration, but all we are as this country is a collection of values, and that's what unites Republicans and Democrats. And I hope that's not a political statement.
I hope that's not political. Please don't perceive it this way. Here's something about people who speak in the parlance of values. He speaks in the parlance of values the same way Rahm Emanuel does. He makes oblique references to values in the generic sense without ever describing what they are. And values, what unites Democrats and Republicans are our shared values. Oh, really? What are those? If you want to go down that rabbit hole, Jim, let's go. What are the shared values between Republicans and Democrats that unite us? That is a fortune cookie statement he makes for trained SEALs in the audience of The View to applaud as they did, and then have fish thrown at them by Joy Behar.
Yeah, it was. I'm just honestly, I'm tapped out with the Comey today, though. My guilty pleasure though. Today, Jake Tapper is going to interview him at 4:00 Central Time, and that is going to be, I think, the hardest interview he's going to have so far. Well, he's going to ask him more questions about Andrew McCabe. He's going to ask him, his oath that he took to the FBI. He's going to ask him things that I want to have answered.
You have to push this guy, right? Because he knows how to dance around questions, and he's going to give the same pat answers that he's given previously on those questions. Or, he's going to pretend like, oh, that's a great question because, I'm on your side. We're having a dialogue. We're doing this together. Yeah. Oh, shucks. I never thought of it that way. When really he's just trying to disarm you so you don't press him. And the only way to deal with somebody as slippery as Comey is to say, spare me. You responded because you were asked about it. No, you didn't. Yes, you were asked about it, but you've been political since the beginning. And let's go chapter and verse. And the follow-up questions. You have no opinion. You want to talk about values and shared values? Let's talk specifically about them. Specifically, what do you mean? Drill that down for me. Andy McCabe, you have no opinion on the discipline there? You have no opinion on the 35-page report there? What about who is morally fit and morally unfit to do the biggest jobs in federal government, the most important jobs at the most important law enforcement agency? But you have no comment on the values there. You remember in great detail, and your editor's voice is bouncing around in your head when it comes to physical descriptions of the president. All that time to reflect and take people into Comey world. But you got no answers for why you didn't respond on the alleged loyalty question. No answers for why you didn't tell the president that the Steele dossier was paid for by his political opponents, that contextual factor. All this time to reflect and come up with your narrative to bring people into what you experience, and nothing, no insights here. Won't tell us of this thing about Loretta Lynch that would have changed the nation's opinion of her, but you can't tell us. Yeah, I mean, you're just so tiresome and self-indulgent and self-referential. It's infuriating. And as even commentators on the left on CNN have been saying, he's going to come out of this fury of interviews this week
looking like a moron.
Yeah, I mean, if he thinks this is all about enhancing his reputation in addition to his bank account, maybe the bank account, not the reputation.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up next, the Senate floor changes the rules because of the nipple. But first, here's your forecast. Okay, well, that's the body part. Today, breezy, some clouds, hopefully sunshine by the afternoon, a high of 48 degrees. So if we do have any snow or slush around, it will be melting. And then Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 55. Yay. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, the expressways and tollways are in pretty good shape, but some other major thoroughfares not so much. In West Chicago, 59 is closed. Between Main Street and Condé, there are multiple crashes and icy conditions. 83 is open in Hinsdale and Clarendon Hills, but at Ogden there is a crash. We're told it's slick in that area. On Kennedy, 22 minutes O'Hare to downtown. The Ike, 38 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95 to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Dan Prothwitz, 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Game show idea. Comey, Corey, or Christian. I'm going to read a series of passages, and you tell me which was said or written by former FBI Director Jim Comey, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, or 50 Shades of Grey protagonist Christian Grey. Let's begin. I want you to know that nothing has happened in the last year to change my view. Boy, those were the words I needed to hear. I know. And the East Coast loves you, and by the East Coast, I mean me. Do you think gay sex is a perversion? We lie there, panting together, waiting for our breathing to slow. He gently strokes my hair. Boy, I survived. That wasn't so bad. He was not going to get a hug without being a whole lot stronger than he looked. He wasn't. He holds out his hand, and in his palm are two shiny silver balls linked with a thick black thread. As he extended his hand, I made a mental note to check its size. It was smaller than mine, but did not seem unusually so. Look out, E.L. James. Jim Comey and Cory Booker are coming for you.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business, and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top-quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Chicagoland, Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at the HomeLoanExpert.com. It's real simple with Ryan. He's one of us, and he gets it. Ryan, thanks for joining us. Look, the housing market is hot right now, very hot in Chicago, top of the market. What does someone need to do if they're going to buy a house this year?
You know, what a great question, Dan. I appreciate let me jump on with you, and you're exactly right. The housing market is hot. It's really hot. And if you're even considering buying a house this year, you need to get pre-approved, and you need to be pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender. And I mean that. There's a lot of other lenders. There's a lot of banks out there. But when you get pre-approved by the HomeLoanExpert.com, that pre-approval is like gold. Heck, we even print them on gold paper. They're so valuable. And if you are considering buying a house, know one thing. You're not the only person out there watching the same neighborhoods, the same school districts, waiting for those listings. There's a lot of other people sitting on the sideline. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois residential mortgage licensee.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, M-U-E-L-L-E-R, CPA.com.
I was just reading the obituaries, and you know Bob from down the street?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, his lawnmower died.
Should we send flowers?
No, Karen, it's a lawnmower. We should send Mechanic in a Bottle.
This spring, if your lawn equipment doesn't start right up, get Mechanic in a Bottle. You don't need to remove the carburetor or, worse, pay someone else to do it. Mechanic in a Bottle will clean the fuel system and have your lawn equipment running within minutes. Available at the Home Depot, Tractor Supply, and Walmart, or visit mechanicinaBottle.com. Trusted by engine and equipment manufacturers everywhere.
5:57, check of your morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Like those roads are icy in some of the western suburbs, including Oakbrook Terrace and Clarendon Hills along 83. We've had a number of crashes. There's one now on Roosevelt 83, and there's also a collision 83 at Ogden. And in West Chicago, 59 is closed between Main Street and Conde with a number of collisions and icy conditions. Kennedy runs 24 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. Eisenhower, 40 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound 30. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th with the Loop. Bishop Ford Heavy, 33 minutes from 8094 to the Merge. Traffic service of Al Pavati Ford. Stop before you buy your new car. Must visit Al Pavati Ford now. truckloads of new cars and trucks have just arrived, everything is priced to sell quickly. Al Pamati Ford is at 25th and North Avenue in Melrose Park. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Increasing amounts of sunshine throughout the day today. It will be breezy with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour for the morning, then it will decrease for the afternoon with a high today 48, clear and cold through the night tonight with a low around 30. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
34 at O'Hare, 33 along Chicago's lakefront. The news, a service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers, stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. At 5:59, here are the stories we're following on AM 560. The Answer. Bail set at $250,000 for a Des Plaines woman accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill the wife of a man with whom she had an affair. Chicago aldermen will be paying millions to settle another police shooting lawsuit. City Council laying aside $2.3 million yesterday for a suit brought by Jaquise Evans. If you work for the state of Illinois, you may soon need to move to Springfield. The Illinois House yesterday approved a plan that would declare the state's capital city the default home for most state jobs. Chicago sports, A's outlast the White Sox in 14 innings, 12-11. Yesterday's game between the Cubs and Cardinals washed out at Wrigley Field. Bears wrapping up voluntary veteran minicamp today. Breezy with clouds this morning, sun this afternoon. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
President Trump gives himself an out on North Korea. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I hope to have a very successful meeting.
But what if it doesn't lead to Kim Jong-un getting rid of his nuclear weapons? Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, the president says he's willing to walk away from the historic summit.
If the meeting, when I'm there, is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave the meeting.
Speaking at a joint news conference with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, President Trump said we will not make the mistakes of previous administrations and that the U.S. will keep maximum pressure until North Korea is denuclearized. Officials are considering several locations for the talks, none of them here in the U.S. No sitting U.S. president has ever had a sit-down meeting with the leader of North Korea. Dave.
Regional CIA Director Mike Pompeo already met with Kim Jong-un a few weeks ago, and the president says they got along really well. Pompeo is up for Secretary of State, but a lot of Democrats plan to vote against confirmation in the Senate, and so does Republican Rand Paul, who says after the president called him, he will sit down with Pompeo.
My main complaint has always been that I don't think he shares the same vision as the president on foreign policy.
Airlines will soon be required to inspect some of their jets, specifically engines like the one that exploded in midair Tuesday.
The Federal Aviation Administration is expected to order required inspections on fan blades like the one involved in the deadly explosion that killed a Southwest passenger and forced an emergency landing in Philadelphia.
There's evidence of metal fatigue where the blade separated.
National Transportation Safety Board Chair Robert Sumwald.
That's Fox's Tom Graham. In a few hours, Cuba will get a new president, Miguel Diaz-Canel.
It's the first time really in 60 years that we haven't had a Castro in charge here. But this is a guy who's spoken out for censorship of the internet. He has attacked small private businesses here in Cuba on the ground. So it's really a big question. What, if anything, is going to change?
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Havana. Fox News, fair and balanced.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Larry Elder live in Chicago for Cigar Night, presented by Precision Payroll of America on Thursday, May 17th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Larry will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets start at $29 and include a cigar. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert, and by the Elmhurst Cigar House.
Hi, I'm Darla from Cintas.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. We have so much to do.
do. I need fire extinguishers, right?
We'll place them for you and be out for regular inspection.
Great. And what about my new hires?
We'll get them into uniforms and keep them looking sharp.
What about this first aid cabinet?
Fully stocked.
It wasn't this morning.
It is now. And so are the restrooms.
Wow, Cintas really seems to know what we need.
You said it.
Oh, I'm ready. Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
This is Jack from Banyan Hill. You like freedom? I do. You like money? I do too. If you like freedom and money, then you're gonna love Freedom Checks. You see, over the next few months, an estimated $34.6 billion is up for grabs to anyone who stakes their claim. Yep, you heard right. $34.6 billion. To get all the details, just go to www.freedomchecks224.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want a chance to grab your full share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by May 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.freedomchecks224.com before the May 1st deadline. That's www.freedomchecks224.com.
Build business with Chamber 630, one of the largest business organizations in DuPage County. Marketing your business and connecting clients is their priority. Visit chamber630.com or call 630-968-4050 to join today.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The continued fallout of the Starbucks incident in Philadelphia.
Hashtag enough. Shame on you, Starbucks, is what I've been seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
They still had protests yesterday. Just a few people in Chicago, though. Certain stores.
Howard Schultz sat down with Gayle King.
Oh.
For a very special edition of CBS Morning.
On a very special CBS Morning.
Yeah. Howard Schultz, just aghast at what happened in Philadelphia.
I can't
He's
believe it happened.
emoting all over Gayle King.
We have all heard the phrase driving while black, shopping while black, and now, Howard, there's a hashtag that says Starbucks while black. You see and you hear that and you think what?
Well, I'm embarrassed, ashamed. I think what occurred was reprehensible at every single level. I think I take it very personally, as everyone in our company does, and we're committed to making it right. The announcement we made yesterday about closing our stores, 8,000 stores closed, to do significant training with our people is just the beginning of what we will do to transform the way we do business and educate our people on unconscious bias.
And it will cost you millions of dollars, too.
It will cost millions of dollars, but I've always viewed this and things like this as not an expense, but an investment in our people and our company. And we're better than this, and I think people expect us to be at a higher level than many other companies, and I understand that.
I've heard the phrase racial bias training. What exactly does that mean? People are saying to me, Gayle, this is just a big PR stunt. This is an overreaction. What does Howard and his company really expect to accomplish in a training session in an afternoon?
We've had 2 company-wide meetings. I held one in Seattle 3 days ago.
Since this happened?
Yes, and I held one yesterday here in Philadelphia. And I think the truth of the matter is that every one of us has a different life experience. And that different life experience, unfortunately, produces a level of bias or unconscious bias about what we feel as people. And I think we have an opportunity, with the help of Cheryl Eiffel from the NAACP and Brian Stevenson and Heather McGee, people who have been in this space for a long time, to help guide us, support us.
I mean, it's just, as David French said, We live in hysterical times, and hysterical times call for hysterical measures. And that's what you're hearing from Howard Schultz and Starbucks generally, as French writing. In more rational times, Starbucks would discipline the manager responsible, notify the rest of its employees that discriminatory behavior will not be tolerated, and be done with it. But these aren't more rational times.
Well, now we have social media, too. I mean, it was posted online, these 2 African Americans being arrested by 6 different police officers.
And so I don't know why you're hung up on 6 police officers responding to a call, because it's really not particularly relevant, because it's not.
I can't even get one in my neighborhood to come to my door
Well,
if there's a shooting.
But this issue has nothing
Right.
to do with police.
No, I know. The police, they acted professionally.
So with respect to Howard Schultz, after hearing that, do you feel comfortable patronizing Starbucks again? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. If you do, you may...
Tell us why.
Well, you may see... Yeah, well, tell us why, sure. You also may see more fun times like this. Political vlogger Brian Sharp, a.k.a. Hotep Jesus.
Hey.
I'm just going by
Got a
what
friend, Hotep Jesus.
he filmed himself walking into a Starbucks.
Wow, how brave.
Well, that's not the end of it. Walking into a Starbucks and
Did he try to use the washroom without buying a cheese stick?
No.
It's the cheapest item on their menu, by the way.
He demanded some reparations.
All right, I heard y'all was racist, so I came to get my free coffee.
I saw that.
Yeah, I heard you guys don't like black people, so I wanted to get my Starbucks reparations voucher. What's that?
Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing.
I mean, I'll give it to you. I saw that on my Twitter last night. I was like, what the
Yeah, I need a free coffee. That's what I'm talking about. This is justice.
Get a grande or venti.
Billy? What? Are you serious?
Oh my God! We got it!
This is justice. This is what I'm talking about.
Reparations.
Cup at a time.
It's great customer service.
Giving me stuff free is great customer service. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a victim. Political vlogger Hotep Jesus is a victim.
Could you imagine? You just throw some milk in it?
Oh,
Sure.
you can do that yourself at the counter, buddy.
Reparations, Miss Jacobson, reparations.
Oh my gosh, they don't ever do that. They say that the milk's over there.
Reparations, man.
Reparations.
Gotta get
man.
my reparations for being black in America.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Should
Wow.
Hotep Jesus and others who demand reparations get free coffee for life? Not just from Starbucks, from everywhere, because, as he said, being black in America, reparations. Howard Schultz talked about this training day they're going to do, right?
It's racial bias training.
Yeah, it's actually more specific. There's a whole cottage industry around this junk science.
Well, yeah, Eric Holder's in charge of it. Remember?
Yeah, well, he's one of the profiteers in this industry of junk science called implicit bias. That's the training that's done, and it's probably feel free to call in and share with us if it's been done in your corporate environment, because I wouldn't be surprised if it has been if you work for a big company.
Yeah, at NBC we had bias training. But go on. What is it? What are the
Well,
criteria?
there's specific tests now that are used.
Okay.
Okay, and from everyone from
Ooh, can we all take the test now? Do we have it in front of you?
No. Everyone from writers at Quartz to David French at National Review is addressing this implicit bias training, since this is now bubbled to national consciousness because of the Starbucks incident. This may be actually a unintentional positive byproduct of all of this silliness. Implicit bias is based on the idea that acts of prejudice are motivated by unconscious thoughts rather than malicious conscious racism. So basically, we're all racist, we just don't know it. You're a bigot, you don't know it. And that's what implicit bias training is there to flesh out and to give you tools like slow thinking to prevent your implicit biases from influencing your external behavior. Have you had enough? I've got more. The problem is the test used to evaluate implicit bias does not meet scientific standards. Does not. But why would we worry about junk science in this world of Orwellian hysteria. A Chronicle of Higher Education. The implicit association test is the tool that's used in these implicit bias training seminars. Chronicle of Higher Education. The correlation between implicit bias and discriminatory behavior appears weaker than previously thought. They also conclude that there's very little evidence that changes in implicit bias have anything to do with changes in a person's behavior. Another write-up on this from Jesse Singal in The Cut. A pile of scholarly work, some of it published in top psychology journals, and most of it ignored by the media, suggests that the implicit association test falls far short of the quality control standards normally expected for psychological instruments. The IAT, the implicit association test, according to this research, is a noisy, unreliable measure that correlates far too weakly with any real-world outcomes to be used to predict individuals' behaviors. Even the test's creators have now admitted as such. So it's not just, to answer Gail King's question, it's not just a big PR scam that Starbucks is running. It's also junk science. But Howard Schultz doesn't care. They don't care because of the first part of the answer, the PR.
To put a Band-Aid on the wound.
Yeah. But, I mean, just so you know, because this is schools, educators, corporate environments, this implicit bias junk science is coming to an employer near you. Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, kids. Thanks for taking my call. First off, Amy, how did the LSC elections go? Did you get elected leader of the free world educational system?
No, but my friends that I wanted to win were both successful. So thank you for asking.
Local school council.
Yeah, local school council. Yeah.
The new central planners, Dan. Come on. That's where the junk science is going to start.
No, I got it.
One's a Republican, so I pushed hard for that person. But anyway, go on.
Well, I wanted to ask about Starbucks. I don't understand this whole concept. When did it become the responsibility of a private entity to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to provide bathrooms and meeting spaces for free for people? I thought that was the job of the Obama library.
Well, yeah, okay. But, I mean, again, Starbucks isn't even being forced to do any of this, including their underlying policy. Thanks for the call, Mike. They're choosing to.
On an ancillary issue, I just think people need to hear about this story from Ben Shapiro. When he was doing his radio show, somebody called in. They know Holly. She's the white female store manager.
Made the call.
Who made the call. She's an SJW feminist. She's huge. She wears pins on her beret. They said that she is kicked out and called the police not only on African Americans, but on white people, on Hispanics as well. Because if you don't buy anything, you want to use the washroom, you can't loiter.
Because that's store policy.
He said, I don't know what happened. This caller said, I don't know what happened last week with the two guys. I wasn't there, but I highly doubt that she saw the two men and decided to call the police based solely on the fact that they are black. From my observations and interactions with her, I was actually under the impression that Holly is a SJW feminist of the highest order. I've heard her scorn a male barista for not using proper neutral pronouns with somebody. That's why this whole situation is so shocking to me, even though I don't agree with her and all the SJW pins that adorn her beret. But I think calling her a racist all over the news and docking her name, address, and phone number is disgusting. She's not a racist. She does this to both white, black, Hispanic people.
Well, then
it's the restaurant code.
Yeah, well, so that's great. You know why that's great? Couldn't be better, because it goes back to, the warning I've given all of our friends on the left.
Which is?
You think that the barbarian hordes won't come for you. You think that you're insulated because you capitulate. That they won't cannibalize you at your job, at your school.
At your home. I mean, they put out her home address. She's got a police protection. For that? For doing what she's been doing for 2 years to white people, Hispanic people, and then...
Social justice warrior done in by more extreme social justice warriors. You know what I say to that? Boo-hoo. Jay in Highland, Indiana. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Morning, Dan and man. Good to be on with you. Hey, let's look at the silver lining on this mocha-colored cloud. This can possibly be the best thing to ever happen to battle political correctness. They got to let everybody in the bathroom now, right? Well, eventually, very soon.
We're going to have to build bigger bathrooms.
Shove a needle in their vein, smoking illicit substances in the bathroom. Starbucks is now going to get a really bad reputation. Political corrective is all to blame. Really, I love it.
Thanks for the call, Jay. I mean, yeah, right. If this tanks Starbucks, then that would be great market feedback, wouldn't it? That's a fair point. Russ in Barrington.
Hi, good morning, Dan and Amy.
Morning.
My parents raised 6 kids, myself included, in a little 3-aisle grocery store in Evergreen Park, Illinois. And the way we were raised, when you go into a gas station or a store to use somebody's facilities, you buy something.
Yep.
If I'm at a gas station and I'm putting gas in my car, I'll use the bathroom. If I don't need gas in my car, I buy some mints, some water, something. And, this is not a race issue. This is about doing the right thing. And I would never take advantage of the fact that somebody has to clean those facilities, et cetera. No more Starbucks for me. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Russ.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. You go in.
Somebody has to clean those bathrooms, and people. Have you ever seen restaurant bathrooms? Oh.
No, I never have actually.
Oh, that's right, because you go in a can.
But
You're
I
like people.
I do agree, though. I mean, it's like you stop. If you're doing like a long trip, stop at a gas station to use the facilities. You buy
always buy something.
Yeah, buy a 40 OZ.
Oh, what?
You buy
malt liquor.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
yeah,
malt
right.
liquor for the road.
No, I buy bottles of water or something or gum.
No.
I feel bad just using the bath, or I buy gas outside. I
Not one of those jumbo Colt 45s. Paul and Elgin.
Malt liquor never tastes.
Hey,
Hey,
Billy D.
good morning,
Williams.
Dan, Amy, go Hawkeyes.
Thank you.
I think we're seeing the first instance of some type of panic training going on here. You might indirectly think that there might be something more out there, that he has to jump right from the beginning to say, hey, we're going to shut everything down. We're going to make sure everybody's on the same page. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out of this changing the fact that you can't order a coffee with nothing in it anymore because it might be too offensive. You can't order a black coffee. It'll offend somebody.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you go.
Thanks for the call, Paul. I mean, that Gayle King put that to Howard Schultz. Now there are more people coming forward saying, I had a bad experience at Starbucks. Of course they are, piling on and so forth. But, I mean, honestly, is there, as David French writes in his piece I referenced, is there a more woke company in this country than Starbucks? It's just so silly, but they can't help themselves. This is the absurdity of the underlying logic or philosophy of Howard Schultz. Tim in Woodstock.
Hi, good morning, Dan and Amy. This is kind of the equivalent of punishing the whole class because of one person's misbehavior, supposed misbehavior. Is every corporation going to shut down now for half a day when an employee, makes a misstep? I mean, just state what the new policy is, what was wrong with what the person did, and just announce what the company is going to do from here out. You don't need to insult every employee, which I think it does, and insults virtually every other employee of Starbucks because of one person. The idea that they need this kind of training.
Thanks for the call, Tim. Yeah, it is insulting, but that's what indoctrination is, insulting. And that's what this is. This is about indoctrination. That's what the whole implicit bias cottage industry is about. By the way, that black Starbucks reparations guy, that political vlogger, got a tweet. He was on Laura Ingram's show, and he says he did that to show how messed up liberals are, and he's tired of how they use blacks. So, a little bit more context with the political vlogger, so good for him.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, Senate floor changes the rules. I'll tell you why. And a lady's involved. But first, here's your forecast. It's going to be breezy today with some clouds, then some sunshine. Please. A high of 48 degrees tonight, clear, a low of 30. And for Friday, looks pretty nice. Mostly sunny skies, a little bit warmer. Things are slowly getting back to normal. a high of 55 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Amy and Dan, roads are slushing and some places really icy. And Oak Brook Terrace and eastbound Roosevelt has been closed between 83 and York Road. There's a rollover crash and really slick conditions. 59 has reopened in West Chicago. Now there's a new crash on Roosevelt at 59. There's one in Lombard, North Avenue at 355. Eden's Expressway runs 22 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 25. Eisenhower, 49 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 31. Stevenson, 53 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to the Loop. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the Verge. Bishop, 428. The northbound Tri-State has delays from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and pockets from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Americans in every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax bill signed into law last year, which means you've got more money to spend on what's important to you. Democrats in Congress who voted against the tax cuts are promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want your money back to spend on their priorities. Only you can stop them. To find out how much more money you'll be bringing home, go to taxcutswork.com. There's an easy-to-use calculator that tells you how much money the new tax cuts are saving you this year and next. Check your tax savings at taxcutswork.com. Then sign a letter to Congress telling them to keep their hands off your tax cut savings. The Tax Cuts Work Tour is coming to the Fauna International at 1900 Averill Road in Geneva on Sunday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Meet small business owners, elected officials, and the folks from Job Creators Network to hear how the tax cuts are working and share your story, too. That's Fauna International in Geneva on Sunday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Learn more at taxcutswork.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I can't thank you enough for this product. Because I get up in the morning, I take 6 capsules of the fruit, and I get this wonderful wellness feeling and alertness. And you got to understand, I'm 90 years old.
It's really helped me and my husband and my son a lot, with our immune systems. We haven't been sick. We've been avoiding, all of that. So I'm really happy with that.
This is a wonderful product. I mean, I just feel so different.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are 2 lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt. $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan, one of the things I like about you, you're a hustler, you're a go-getter. Is it really true that you and your team will drive anywhere in Chicagoland so that your clients don't have to sit in the notorious Chicagoland traffic?
Oh, you better believe it. A mortgage is just too big of an investment, too big of a product to be done on an app or maybe through email only. And I feel that it's very important to at least get together with our clients for the application process. Meaning, if you're looking to refinance or buy a home, give us a call, 773-770-4727. That's 770-4727. Or you can always apply online at thehomeloanexpert.com. We'll gather some information. I will work you up your options, call you back. We'll review your options, compare where you are, and compare the new loan. If you say, hey, this is a great fit in what it's looking for, I'll come out and I'll meet you at your home or office. No one does that. Customer service, no one can match. Thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the Ace Buy One, Get One Free sale. Don't miss great Buy One, Get One Free deals throughout the store. So many BOGOs, we can't name them all. Start the season right with savings on quality products from Scott's, Roundup, Ortho, and more. There are so many BOGOs and so many ways to save. Hurry in. The Ace Buy One, Get One Free sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Buy select item and get designated item free. See store for details.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, yeah.
Dan and Amy, and so the Senate chamber has changed the rules on the floor so that Mitch McConnell can breastfeed Tammy Duckworth's baby, I understand.
No, you're a little off there.
No, they changed the rules so that Tammy Duckworth, who's the first sitting senator to give birth while in office, that she can bring her child, Miley, her second baby, to the Senate floor to breastfeed the child so that she can also vote.
Miley.
Yeah, she can vote and breastfeed at the same time. But here's the stipulation. It's only until the child reaches 1 year old, and then that no longer is allowed.
Well,
because
that's
you know
good.
what? Kids get a little loud, and they're distractions.
Well, it's good because Mitch McConnell doesn't have that much sustenance to give, so he's only going to be able to do that for a year.
But anything can be milked with nipples.
You can milk anything with nipples. I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Yeah. Tweet from Matthew Hickey. Most places of business don't allow children because of the distraction from work.
Yeah.
That's not a problem in a place where very little work is done, the U.S. Senate. So he suggests that they allow puppies and hacky sack, too.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be good additions.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
17 years he was a teacher, and in none of those years could he read or write. We'll have that story at 6:36.
And first, before we throw it to Mike in the newsroom, we'd like to thank Jill Scheiderer. Wow.
Oh, that's not a very good thank you when you assassinate her name.
Jill
Scheiderer.
Jill Schreiderer. Thank you so
The way
much
you
for
said it
listening to
sounded
AM
pornographic.
560, The Answer. Jill Schreiderer, thanks for making Chicago's Morning Answer and AM 560 part of your day. Now, here is Mike Scott.
33 degrees. We have sunshine this morning. A hopeful sign. We're watching developments in Iran this morning where a powerful earthquake is reported dangerously close to a nuclear power plant. Seismologists in France say the magnitude 5.8 struck this morning very close to the country's only nuclear power plant on the Persian Gulf Coast. President Trump hopes to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in coming weeks. The president met with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe yesterday. Says he wants to see a peaceful, nuclear-free Korean peninsula.
The fact is that they do have 3 prisoners. We have been talking about them. We're negotiating now. We are doing our very best. As you know, they've been there a long time, and it's harsh treatment.
CIA Director Mike Pompeo recently met with Kim as a prelude to the Trump summit. The NTSB interviewing the crew of the Southwest Airlines flight forced into an emergency landing after an engine exploded.
Our operations group, they have requested
all FAA records related to this flight crew, as well as company training records.
A woman passenger was killed Tuesday when she was partially pulled through a window that broke during the explosion. Federal investigators say the recent theft of explosives from a work site in Pennsylvania is much bigger than authorities originally thought. ATF investigators learned yesterday an additional case of dynamite is missing. 700 pounds of explosives have been stolen. Former Vernon Hills High School soccer coach is pleading not guilty to sexually assaulting 2 students. Corey Beard entered that plea yesterday in Lake County Circuit Court. Authorities are still trying to identify the 2 found dead after a fire destroyed a home in Highland Park. Family of a young girl killed by a CTA bus on Chicago's South Side nearly 4 years ago, but will be receiving a settlement from the transit agency. The agency's board approving a $1.5 million payout yesterday for the family of Cherish Myers. If you want to work for the state of Illinois, you may soon need to move to Springfield. The Illinois House yesterday approving a plan that would declare the state's capital city the default home for most state jobs. Chicago sports, athletics over the White Sox in 14 innings, 12-11. Cubs and Cardinals scrubbed because of weather yesterday. The news service of Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. Now at Staples, get 50% off the HP OfficeJet Pro 6900 series this week only at Staples, your local total printing solution. While supplies last, valid on SKU 225-6781, ends 4/21. 6:34 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains what secularism does to a society.
The famous quote from the end of the 19th century is, when people stop believing in God, they don't believe in nothing, they believe in anything, because wisdom begins with fear of God. Sorry, secularists out there, you are guaranteed a dumb society when you get rid of God and the Bible.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
It is 6:36, and let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Mike, got big problems in Oakbrook and Oakbrook Terrace. Eastbound Roosevelt is closed from 83 to York due to a crash and icy conditions. Southbound 83 is now closed from 31st to Ogden, where it's very icy. Northbound, there's a left lane closure at Ogden. And farther south in Willowbrook, southbound 83 is closed from Midway to the Stevenson Expressway, where there's a crash. It's icy in West Chicago. Got a crash on Roosevelt at 59. Northbound tri-state delays are from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and in pockets from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. There's a crash in the right lane to the exit ramp to the Reagan Tollway. Edens is 24 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 20. Kennedy 31 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 26. The Eisenhower's 50 minutes. 390 to downtown outbound 31. Stevenson an hour and 6 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Rhine is 36 minutes. 95 to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford 30, traffic service, Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is simple, so can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states, equal housing lender, and MLS number 3030. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Breezy this morning. Sunshine throughout the day. High near 48. Clear and cold 30 overnight. Currently 34. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. A little sports and culture here, the intersection. Nancy Armour writing in the USA Today sports section. Remember, the sports press corps is just an extension of the D.C. press corps. They're left as well, with a few exceptions, but generally speaking, they're left. They're certainly left in Chicago. We've looked up their voting records.
Oh, Mark Giangreco is really moderate.
And so, I mean, they want to be part of the in-crowd of the quote-unquote journalists. So it's the same thing. I mean, obviously, you've seen what's happened to ESPN. Nancy Armour writing in USA Today, no place in the NFL for cheerleaders in 2018.
Oh, come on. It's my favorite part of the game.
Here is the thesis.
Did Virginia McCaskey get to him? Because remember, we had the Honey Bears, which I love the Honey Bears.
I miss them to this day.
Well, she decided that it was a distraction, and there's other reasons why, but she got rid of the Honey Bears.
Well, only 6 of the 30 NFL teams do not have cheerleaders at present. So
how's
the
that working out for the
supermajority
Bears,
do have cheerleaders. The statement is this: NFL cheerleaders need to go. NBA dance squads and NHL ice girls while we're at it, too. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. In this Me Too era, is it unconscionable to allow attractive women to gyrate on the sidelines or on skates in between during a timeout or in between periods? Or, or during a timeout in the NBA dance squad, halftime show, et cetera, et cetera. Scantily clad, Amy Jacobson.
Well, yeah, but show it off while you got it. I mean, ladies, eventually things are going to sag and shift into places that you don't even know are possible. But no, I mean, it is a talent. If to be a cheerleader, to move and to be flexible like that, I mean, God bless them. Doing the splits is hard. I mean, it's very... It's athletic. And these are the women that are on top of their game. I judged a Love Bulls tryout one year.
Please do not provide any more detail about aging women. It sounds like an excerpt from Jim Comey's book.
And then I woke up and things were sagging. No. All right, so I judged the Love Bulls back in 1999.
Who are you to judge the Lovables? How dare you?
No, it was excellent.
You're going to sit in judgment of the Lovables?
I did. And it was a long process. And these women work so hard. And they are, again, at the top of their game. They are the elite athletes in their field.
Well, many of them are like professional dancers. Right?
I know. But I'm just, it's...
I mean,
to disband it because of this Me Too movement, no. You get out there and dance.
Let me offer Exhibit A, why these ice girls, NBA cheerleaders, NFL cheerleaders should not be disbanded.
Because then it's going to lead to the collegiate level, and then next thing you know, there's no more middle school cheerleaders.
No. 2 words. Yes. 2 names. Paula Abdul. I rest my case. Where would Paula Abdul be had she not been a Lakers girl and then choreographer? Then she wouldn't have been allowed to make terrible music and millions of dollars off of it.
Straight up now, tell me.
And have people like Amy
do you want to love me
make it even worse. Were you DJ Scat Cat?
Yeah.
Was that you?
How'd you know? Yeah. Ready?
If Paula Abdul had not been a Lakers girl, the world would have been deprived of that song. Is that a world in which you want to live? I don't think so.
Ow, ow, ow. 312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Jim on the south side there.
Hey, how you doing? Real quick, I think that the cheerleading squads have to be more politically correct, open it up to transgenders, and, you know, if you had a 7-foot-tall transgender in the National Basketball Association cheerleader squad, I think that would protect all the girls from being disbanded.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for the call, Jim. So destroy him that way and insidiously like we're doing to women's sports in general. There's a thought. What about, like, you had male cheerleaders, the Bulls, during that, during their...
We had male cheerleaders at my high school.
No, but I mean the male, like a team of male cheerleaders. Remember
they were the fat sloppy guys who did like the doughboy dance, or what was that called? The Joey Bag of Donuts. Huh?
Yeah, like Blues Brothers looking guys. What were they called again?
Those were the Blues Brothers.
No, well,
that dance squad, but then there's another dance. There's dance squad, and then there's an old lady dance squad, and those girls are really hot. I mean,
yeah, that's right.
With the aging midriffs, I mean, it's
would that have to be disbanded too? I guess under this policy.
But here's the thing: if I'm a dancer, just let me dance.
Right, I have born to dance.
So you think you can dance? I love that show.
I must dance.
That's my decision. I don't need the government telling me whether or not I'm too sexy for the hardwood floor, or for a football sideline, or for the ice.
Well, this isn't the government.
Why are they taking away?
This isn't the
government.
government.
I know, but
this
it's a governing body. Like it's somebody that's deciding. Like Virginia McCaskey when she took away the honey bears.
Well, it's her private property. She can do with it as she sees fit per the Constitution of NFL
That's fine,
owners.
but I mean, we're big girls now. We can decide if we're feeling sexually objectified. Okay.
Well,
some days show it off now.
Cheerleaders from 2 NFL teams have filed gender discrimination complaints in the past month detailing the demeaning ways in which they were treated. Restrictions on what they can and can't post on social media, rules that prohibit contact with players and put the onus on women to avoid it, dress codes.
Everybody wants to get with the quarterback. Okay.
Is it any wonder the underlying premise of NFL cheerleaders is degrading, presenting women as nothing more than objects to be leered at? The only purpose is to titillate, says Nancy Armour, Amy.
Yes.
I think she wrote this whole column so she could use the terms leered and titillate.
Titillate.
Mm-hmm. Greg and Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan and promo code Amy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, Dan. Amy has been known to appear in Newsapalooza. I think there is a Danapalooza in the future, don't you?
No, I do not. Thank you for the suggestion.
Oh, come on.
No. That is being rejected out of hand.
And then what's next? They're going to take away sexy women in Hollywood films and in TV shows and in Netflix.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's going to walk around with a moo-moo.
Well, you know, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are an anachronism of a dirtier time when we were uncivilized before we became enlightened as we are in 2018.
Slow your roll.
Well,
nothing is ever going to happen to the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Are you kidding me? That is an institution. Those are iconic dancers that young girls strive to be one day.
What about cheerleading at the lower levels, like you suggested? I mean, what about high school and college cheerleaders?
They'll probably put them in leggings. Honestly, this is where I think this is going. They can't wear skirts. They'll have leggings and T-shirts and pom-poms. Nothing too sexy. And I sense plaid leggings for Catholic school girls soon, too.
All right. As you got a little
That's
insight
to solve
into
that problem. Cover the skin. Everyone, don't look.
All right.
And we're becoming a Muslim nation. Then we're going to wear, scarves on our heads so nobody looks at us because we don't want to have a Me Too moment. Excuse me.
No, I mean, and obviously, as we know, Nancy Armour points this out. If there's one thing women hate, it's to be noticed.
That's it. Yeah.
But thank you for the preview of your 2018 winter line. Families of high school and grade school age girls can look for those offerings come the fall.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Coming up next, new information about that Southwest Airlines flight. Did you know that the passengers all wore their face masks the wrong way? Another reason to pay attention to those flight attendants. But first, here's your forecast. Breezy with some clouds, then some sunshine by this afternoon. A lot of us are waking up with a light dusting of snow and slush. A high today of 48 degrees. Tonight, a low of 30. And then Friday, yay, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-50s. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
It's messy this morning, Amy and Dan. Not so much on the expressways and tollways, where things are pretty routine, but some of the suburbs have nasty conditions. In Broadview, Cermak is closed. Between Gardner Road and 17th Avenue, there are multiple crashes. Oak Brook Terrace, eastbound Roosevelt closed. 83 to York. Southbound 83 is shut down in two stretches. First from 31st to Ogden, and then from Midway Drive to the Stevenson. Northbound, there's a left lane closure at Ogden, so traffic is jamming up there. It's icy in Warrenville in West Chicago. Got a crash on 59 at Mack. Eden Spur, eastbound delays start at Waukegan Road. Then it's 25 minutes Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound 23. Kennedy, 31 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 26. Eisenhower, 50 minutes 390 to downtown. Outbound 32 at Stevenson's rough. An hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 50 minutes from the Tri-State. Ryan, 40 minutes now, 95th to downtown. I-57, 22 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 30. Delays on the northbound Tri-State from Southwest Highway to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. General Motors replaces the head of Cadillac. Puerto Rico hit by an island-wide blackout, and Target stores expanding drive-up service. Those stories next.
Hi, this is Jack from Banyan Hill. You might have heard about the $34.6 billion that's expected to be doled out in what we call freedom checks. Huge checks that are changing people's lives from coast to coast. People like Sean from Pittsburgh. In fact, he's on the phone right now. Sean, you there?
Yes, I am, Jack.
Sean, let me ask you, how do you like getting these massive checks in your mailbox every month?
Well, Jack, we used to put stuff on credit cards living paycheck to paycheck. But now, after we started collecting a specific kind of freedom check, I have to say, life's a lot more fun.
I bet it is. In fact, getting massive freedom checks is fun no matter who you are. And with $34.6 billion expected to be paid out in private, non-government money starting as early as May 1st, now's the time to stake your claim on some cash. To get all the details, go to www.freedomchecks126.com before the May 1st deadline. That's www.freedomchecks126.com.
General Motors replacing the head of its Cadillac division following slumping sales. Steve Carlisle, who formerly ran GM's Canadian operations, is the new boss at Cadillac, which saw global sales fall 8% last year. For the first time since Hurricane Maria last September, Puerto Rico is recovering from an island-wide blackout. 1.4 million people lost power as a result of an excavator severing a transmission line. Target customers in Texas and Florida can now buy items without leaving their cars. Target expanding drive-up service where purchases made on their mobile app are delivered to customers at store curbsides. Target already providing the service in Alabama, Georgia, and other states. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
The rapid evolution of technology and industrial robotic automation systems offers a multitude of solutions that give manufacturers a competitive advantage, from ergonomics, quality control, and the need to meet increased production goals while improving the lives of everybody on the factory floor. Industrial robotic automation can mean increased profitability and higher quality jobs. Matrix Industrial Automation has built a reputation as an industry leader in developing, building, and installing a wide range of turnkey robotic automation systems. Manufacturers big and small, local and worldwide, depend on Matrix to deliver the most optimal and robust industrial automation systems with improved ROI in mind. Nearly 2 decades of experience and hundreds of installed systems is why Matrix Industrial Automation, headquartered in Bartlett, Illinois, are the industrial automation experts. For information or to schedule a free automation consultation, visit matrixindustrialautomation.com or call 847-841-8260. That's matrixindustrialautomation.com.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas. Online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I used to have a sore back every day when I get up out of bed. It was a struggle. That's gone. Joints, be it my shoulder, my ankles, knees, were always troublesome. I don't have any issues with those. It's really good at helping you with your overall physical health.
I would wake up in the morning and I'd go to stretch or something, and my legs would just cramp up, and cramps are killer, let me tell you. Get up and jump on my foot. And since I've been taking these, I don't get those cramps anymore.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. It's the Ace Buy One, Get One Free sale. Don't miss great Buy One, Get One Free deals throughout the store. So many BOGOs, we can't name them all. Start the season right with savings on quality products from Scott's, Roundup, Ortho, and more. There are so many BOGOs and so many ways to save. Hurry in. The Ace Buy One, Get One Free sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Buy select item and get designated item free. See store for details.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
If you're looking to purchase a firearm, here's a great offer. In April, Schranks will give you 2 free boxes of range ammo with a firearm purchase. For over half a century, generations of customers shop Schranks Smoke and Gun for the family atmosphere and the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County, including pistols, rifles, shotguns, hard-to-find calibers, collectibles, and older functioning hunting rifles. There's on-site gunsmith services from simple cleaning to complete rebuilds. For your first firearm or adding to your collection, visit Schranks Smoke and Gun. And cigar lovers, you'll find your favorites in Schranks humidors, along with a broad selection of pipes and tobacco. Visit smoke, the letter N, gun.org, or call 847-662-4034. And check Facebook and Instagram for all the current specials, including the 2 boxes of range ammo with a firearm purchase. Drive north and save on taxes at Schrank Smoke and Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964. That's 847-662-4034.
Quality doors and windows are one of the smartest investments you can make. They improve your home's appearance and save you money on energy bills year-round. Say goodbye to high-pressure sales tactics and enjoy the best window and door experience with Next Door & Window. Call now and schedule your free quote, 630-590-1370, or go online to nextdoorandwindow.com. Next Door & Window has wood-clad, vinyl, and fiberglass windows and doors. Their staff will help you find exactly what you want. Right now, get 10% off windows and doors with no money down and no payments for 1 year. Call 630-590-1370 or go to nextdoorandwindow.com to schedule your free quote. Choose from 3 showrooms in Chicagoland, Arlington Heights, Burr Ridge, and Naperville. Call 630-590-1370 or go to nextdoorandwindow.com to schedule your free quote and for finance qualifications.
Next Door and Window, thousands of options, one perfect fit.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. It's the Ace Buy One, Get One Free sale. Don't miss great Buy One, Get One Free deals throughout the store. So many BOGOs, we can't name them all. Start the season right with savings on quality products from Scott's, Roundup, Ortho, and more. There are so many BOGOs and so many ways to save. Hurry in! The Ace Buy One Get One Free sale ends Monday. Offers valid at participating stores. Buy select item and get designated item free. See store for details.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof?
I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you?
I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
They saved me $782.
Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
AM 560.
The Answer.
So we're learning new information about the hero pilot on Southwest Airlines. We played the audio for you yesterday, how calm she was, how cool, collected.
Could you have the medical meet us there on the runway as well? We've got injured passengers.
Injured passengers, okay. And is your airplane physically on fire?
No, it's not on fire, but part of it's missing. They said there was a hole and someone went out.
A hole. So she was told that there was a hole in the plane and that a passenger flew out.
Tammy Jo Schultz is her name. Amby Davis's bowling ball tweeting that Tom Hanks is already being fitted with prosthetics to play her in the movie.
Well, she's 56 years old, and her dream was to be a pilot for the Air Force. But back in the 80s, they didn't allow women to be pilots in the Air Force. So she went to a welcoming Navy where she was a Navy pilot. And her friend said she wasn't surprised that her friend was the hero.
She's always been an excellent pilot. And so it just didn't really surprise me that she was the person in the cockpit piloting the airplane.
And I had tears in my eyes.
Training.
Tears in my eyes. I mean, 56 years old. When after the plane, when they finally landed, she stayed on board. She walked back into the cabin and thanked everyone whose life she had just saved. I mean, she met everyone, and people were shocked. If you look at the video, it's a tearjerker. And so good for her, and just for staying calm and cool and just being an awesome human being. Also, too, everybody on the plane, most of them put their masks on upside down. So they still received oxygen, but just you might want to pay attention to the flight attendant during the safety hearing.
No.
Okay. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to our friend Mike Gallagher, who follows our show each morning. Yeah, and we'll also get to this important story. Undertaker's facing stiff competition.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
A Des Plaines woman is charged in a murder for hire plot. Cubs and Cardinals postponed due to the snow, while the A's outlast the White Sox in 14 innings. Breezy with some sunshine throughout this day. Overnight, clear and cold, and a low of 30. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Are there any other jet engines close to failing? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Federal regulators want airlines to be sure, readying an order for new inspections 2 days after an engine exploded on a Southwest flight.
There was a very loud noise, and the plane started vibrating and shuddering.
Peggy Phillips is a nurse who tried to save a fellow passenger who'd nearly been sucked out of the plane. She did CPR.
I didn't feel like I ever got an airway established very well. There was no pulse.
But the woman had severe injuries and was pronounced dead after they landed in Philadelphia. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more on the inspections live.
The FAA wants 737 engine fan blades inspected. Now, the announcement for this came last night, nearly a year after the engine's manufacturer recommended those inspections and a month after European regulators ordered their airlines to do them. Investigators say the blade that broke off mid-flight and triggered that emergency landing for Flight 1380 was showing signs of metal fatigue. The NTSB also blamed metal fatigue for an engine failure on a Southwest plane in 2016 as well, Dave.
Tanya, President Trump says he's optimistic about the upcoming meeting with North Korea's leader, but
if I think that it's a meeting that is not going to be fruitful, we're not going to go.
And the president says if the meeting isn't going well to get Kim Jong-un to give up his nuclear weapons, he'll leave. The president also again called the Russia investigation a hoax, again saying there's no collusion. As for reports he might fire Special Counsel Mueller or Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein.
They've been saying I'm going to get rid of them for the last 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and they're still here.
Now today, President Trump's former campaign chairman is expected back in court. Paul Manafort will ask a judge to dismiss tax evasion and money laundering charges filed against him as part of the Russia probe. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Sunshine, 33 degrees in Chicago at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Former Vernon Hills High School soccer coach is pleading not guilty to sexually assaulting 2 students. Corey Beard entered that plea yesterday in Lake County Circuit Court. During that same hearing, a judge denied her request to lower bail to $1 million. Bail set at $250,000 for a Des Plaines woman accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill the wife of a man with whom she had an affair. Tina Jones, according to prosecutors, paid $10,000 to a company on the dark web in January to have the Woodridge woman killed. Stores in Chicago that sell e-cigarettes and vaping supplies are now required to post signs warning teens about the dangers of smokeless tobacco. Chicago City Council approving the sign requirement aimed at teens. Meantime, there is a new head of the Chicago Police Oversight Agency. The City Council approving Mayor Emanuel's appointment of Sidney Roberts yesterday to lead the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush appreciates everyone's prayers here locally and the condolences that have been passed to him following the passing of his mother, Barbara.
If she was here, she'd say, thank God you made it, because she would have been very upset if I stayed home. That's not a Bush attribute. You commit to something, you're supposed to show up and do it.
Speaking yesterday at the 11th Annual Elmhurst College Governmental Forum in Oak Brook, the former presidential candidate said his mom would be pleased with his efforts. Chicago sports, A's outlast the White Sox in 14, 12-11. Cubs and Cardinals at Wrigley Field postponed due to inclement weather. Here's a nice story from Hallis Hall. Devin Hester and Matt Forte will sign one-day contracts with the Chicago Bears and officially retire as members of that organization. The news service of Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. Now at Staples, get 50% off the HP OfficeJet Pro 6900 series this week only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last, valid on SKU 225-6781, ends 4/21. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
I'm having that 6:59 feeling again.
What?
You know, that mini panic attack right before the workday starts when you're sure you've forgotten something?
Nope, that's my favorite time of day. I work with Cintas, so I always know we're ready for the workday. They handle our uniforms, fire extinguishers, first aid, safety training, floor mats, and restroom supplies.
I think I need to call Cintas.
They might just make a morning person out of you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
It is 7:06 on AM 560. It is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. Time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. And time to check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The latest on an icy Route 83 and more. Here's Jim Talamonte.
It's really nasty, Mike, this morning on 83 in the west and southwest suburbs. Southbound 83 is closed right now from 31st Street to Ogden Avenue and farther south from Midway Drive to the Stevenson. Eastbound Roosevelt and Oak Brook Terrace is closed from 83 to York Road. In Broadview, Cermak is closed from Gardner and 17th Avenue. There are multiple crashes. Eden Spur eastbound, it's heavy starting at Waukegan Road. And We're looking at 28 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 24. Kennedy, 47 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 35. The Eisenhower's an hour from 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim, outbound 39 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 18 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 44 minutes. The Rhine is 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 22 minutes, ID to the Merge, Bishop 440. Northbound Tri-State delays are from Southwest Highway to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Veterans Memorial from 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today breezy with some clouds, then sunny, high 48, clear and cold for the night, low 30. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 55. Patchy clouds at night, chilly with a low 34. Saturday, clouds and sun, high 56. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Sunshine, 34 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And as Comey's making his rounds on the variety shows with his Opie Taylor routine, I wanted to get to a serious point rather than having to indulge Comey discussing important matters of law enforcement and representative Republican government checks and balances to get away from that and get to
your gall, why?
Trey Gowdy. Well, that's Jim Neighbors.
Oh, that's Jim Neighbors.
That's not
Right,
Opie
right.
Taylor.
Oh, sorry, Opie
Yeah,
Taylor.
we're talking about the
Excuse
Andy
me.
Griffith show.
Excuse me, sorry.
I mean, let's get it straight. So here's the thing. Trey Gowdy was on with Martha McCallum on Fox yesterday, and he wanted to talk about the Comey memos. Remember how the House Intel Committee and the House Oversight Committee are being stonewalled by Department of Justice? So you got House Intel and Oversight investigating Hillary Clinton, trying to get the release of the Comey memos. So they're investigating Hillary Clinton while the Inspector General of the FBI is investigating the FBI, and Mueller's investigating Trump, and it's a lot of moving parts to keep track of. Trey Gowdy, though, simplifies it. The Comey memos that Comey's talking about, why can't we get them? Why shouldn't Martha McCallum and the public see them? This is Trey Gowdy's point.
What I'm most interested in, which is what Comey's talking about, there's no need for that to be classified. So Comey gets to talk about it, but no one else does, and that's just not fair to your viewers, and it's not fair to the president, frankly.
And since Comey likes to talk generically and disingenuously in the parlance of values, Trey Gowdy pointed out those Comey values and how they are differently applied depending on the target.
I think what's most perilous for Jim Comey, quite frankly, Martha, is he's written a book about morality and ethics and truth, and he's engaged in more relativism, I think, than any book author I have seen in a long time. Now, keep in mind, he says President Trump lied. He's therefore unfit for office. But he's really proud of the fact that his wife and daughter supported the other candidate who also has trouble with the truth. And then when it comes to Andy McCabe, he's a victim. So all three engage in the same conduct. One's unfit to be president, one he hopes is the president, and the other is his friend and a victim. That's relativism, so that is antithetical
and he makes it
to
very
ethics.
clear.
And a man who is fit to follow us each morning at 9 a.m. joins us now for more on this. He is our friend Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. Mike, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan, Amy, honestly, you guys remind me of why it's so depressing that Trey Gowdy is throwing in the towel, because he's so tough and he's so smart, and it really, it just makes me crazy that so many of these good and decent politicians they just don't have the stomach for this much longer. And I get it. It's a terrible, volatile atmosphere out there, and it'd be a pretty tough place to be right now to have to walk up on Capitol Hill and deal with all the shenanigans that these guys have to deal with. But Dan, Amy, it's a great reminder of how laser-focused Trey Gowdy can be. I know him pretty well. I worked for a lot of years in South Carolina, so I've known him for a long time. smart guy, a great prosecutor, and he's not somebody you want to have on your bad side.
And again, his real reason for leaving is?
I don't
pay's
think.
not good enough.
What's that?
No, pay's not good enough. I'm speculating.
Yeah, maybe he can do. He's figuring out Comey's going to make a lot of money on a book. Maybe he can. No, I honestly think it's just the idea of not being able to put up with all of the garbage and the noise. I mean, you and I, all of us feel it on the radio. I mean, we know how bad it is. We know how toxic it is, how personal our politics have become, how polarizing it is. And these guys have families. They've got kids, grandkids. And I think that one by one they're saying, you know what, do I want to go through this for another 5, 6, 7, 10 years? No. And so I just don't think, Amy, he has the will to keep going at it. I saw him last week, right before I went on vacation in New York, and it looked like he was acting like he had the weight of the world off his shoulders. I know that adage where he just looked like he was walking 2 inches off the ground. He was relaxed. He was happy. That many have said that about Paul Ryan. These guys are just thrilled to get out of the swamp and go back home and make a lot of money, Dan, to your point, in the private sector.
And also, too, I mean, it'll give him some time to focus on really settling on a haircut.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, he's really
good luck. Do you guys ever watch ID, the Discovery Network? The crime thing. And I love that. I binge watch that on the weekends. There's something wrong with me, obviously. But there was an old case from about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, murder case in South Carolina, where he was the local prosecutor, and they interviewed him. You think his hair's bad now? You should have seen it 25 years ago.
I can only imagine.
It was bizarre.
I mean, not everybody is blessed with perfect hair like Sean Hannity, Mike Gallagher.
Or Donald Trump.
Some of us struggle. Yeah, there's no question.
That's exactly. Well, I mean, after all, Jim Comey, who's got good hair, he couldn't stop staring at President Trump's hair. Now, I've been in person with President Trump, and I will have to admit, it does, as you know. I mean, you look at it, it does take some strange twists and turns. I don't recall staring at it like Mr. Comey did, but hey, to each his own.
Eric Holder is trying to leverage doing all of the implicit bias training for Starbucks into a run for president in 2020. How excited are you about the prospect of a President Holder?
I just keep going back to Starbucks a couple of years ago, so arrogantly telling the world that their baristas are capable of moderating race relations discussions. I mean, when the chickens come home to roost like this, it's just I've got the greatest case of Schadenfreude. I love watching this. I mean, can you imagine? They're going to close 8,000 stores down. If you were a well-run business, you could handle diversity training and keep the store open. You do it in shifts. But, of course, what they're trying to do is self-flagellation. They want to punish themselves. I saw the CEO the other night on TV. He really was absolutely weepy on television. So for one case of one store in Philadelphia, and we weren't there, who knows what happened. But at the end of the day, these guys now, of course, as expected, as the left always does, they're overreacting, they're overreaching, and it just makes themselves look a little bit silly.
But they're taking it out on the customers. I mean, we have to pay for one woman's alleged sins, this Holly woman who, by all accounts, she's a feminist. She would put SJW pins on her beret, and she even, she would even train male employees and say, watch the pronouns that you're using.
Are you sure you're not confusing her with Comey's wife?
Yeah, with the pink hats. I'm not sure though if America can survive a day without Starbucks. What are you going to do with that $11 cups of mocha latte grandes? I hope we recover because it's going to be a tough day.
We're going back to the dark ages, Mike. There's no question about it.
Where will people go to hang out all day and stare into their iPads, wearing their Birkenstocks and their and their tie-dye T-shirts?
So what President Trump and this issue that's developing with respect to Stormy Daniels and that McDougal woman and Michael Cohen, obviously, how concerned are you that the Southern District of New York can create real political and legal problems for the president?
Well, they can. Of course, I've said it over and over, the deep state, if you believe in the deep state, and I, along with the vast majority of Americans do, It's very powerful. I mean, there are a lot of forces within the media, within the government, that are in a relentless effort to take this guy down. Meanwhile, as they're blithering about Stormy Daniels over on CNN, and they're blithering about Sean Hannity talking to Michael Cohen about real estate advice over on MSNBC, there's real progress being made, like North Korea and South Korea coming to terms, and denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, and all kinds of incredibly great job growth and forecasts from the CBO, things that I think sort of matter. It's going to be a real crisis in this country if somehow there is real legal jeopardy or consequences for this president over a lot of this superfluous stuff, all under the guise of stopping him, of taking him down and stopping his agenda, because there really are millions and millions of Americans who are looking at their paycheck right now saying, well, I am getting more money. Kroger, investing $500 million in their employees. Over and over, you see all these economic and jobs numbers that I don't know what anti-Trump people say to that. I don't know what the never-Trumpers who are Republicans, I don't know what the Trump haters who are on the left. When you see all that stuff, I don't know how you ignore that, Dan. You can say you don't like his temperament, you don't like his tweets, you don't like his hair, you don't like his hands, whatever. You can't ignore the very real strides that are being made. So we're going to have a real crisis. It's solvable. There's a political solution. The political solution is that people who agree with me and got to get out and vote. You got to make sure that the Democrats don't take control of the House or the Senate, because if they do in November, we're going to be in a world of hurt.
Now, I learned this morning that President Trump spoke with his divorce attorney who worked on his first 2 divorces, and he gave him the advice, watch your relation with Michael Cohen, but also, whatever you do not speak with Robert Mueller. Do you agree?
Well, I mean, I'm worried. I'm not so sure he won't. I'm not kidding you. He won't fire Mueller. I mean, everybody says he won't. Everybody around him says he won't. But let's face it, trying to predict Donald Trump is a fool's errand. I mean, he could just get fired up. But I guarantee you, Amy, his inclination is to speak to him. Who doesn't he want to speak to? That's one of the things about Donald Trump. I mean, he'll go on the Weather Channel if they ask him, and do a half-hour sit-down.
Well, maybe they could just live tweet back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, he will. I mean, just think about the time we're living in, guys. Yesterday, here we've got all this great news about Mike Pompeo meeting with Kim Jong-un. Trump tweets that out. A few minutes after he's tweeting out about Stormy Daniels' police sketch of the guy who supposedly threatened her in Vegas years ago on behalf of Trump. Now he's tweeting this about that too. I just guarantee you people are like, boy, I just, if you could just stay on policy, Mr. But on the other hand, as soon as I start to say that on my radio show, people go nuts, say, no, we want the tweets. We want him to talk directly to the American people. Listen, 100 years from now, historians are going to look back at 2017, 2018, 2019. They're not going to believe it. They're going to say this is all made up. There's no way that really happened. That didn't really happen.
And I mean, to the president's credit, he wants to catch Willem Dafoe and hold him to account for threatening Stormy Daniels.
Or Tom Brady.
Or Tom Brady.
Or her ex-husband. I mean,
put them all in a lineup. Let's go.
Amy, did you see the picture of the ex-husband?
It looks
it's
exactly
like a dead
like
ringer.
I know.
It's like a dead. It's like they're twin.
But how are you going to? I mean, I would not remember something from 10 years ago. Some guy who came up to me with a hoodie on. And
sure you would. She's trying to settle a score with her ex-husband, obviously.
Well,
there you go.
Dan, Amy, the joke about these women is the whole battle is they want to tell their story. Who haven't they told their story to?
I know.
Everybody knows their story.
I don't need to hear anymore. I got it.
Well, we know. What don't we know? What don't we know about either one of them, the Playboy Bunny or Stormy Daniels? They've already given the story. So it just makes no sense that they want to be released from. Well, the one wants to be released from an NDA because she wants to talk. Honey, you talk. You've said everything.
I got it. I don't need to hear anymore. You saw us, that ex-Playboy Maid of the Year or whatever.
He is Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays on these airwaves, 9 to 11 a.m. Following us, check out Mike Gallagher. Mike, thanks for joining us again.
Great
Appreciate
visiting with you guys. Keep fighting the good fight. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you. And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
For forecast for today, as you can see, plenty of sunshine, a little bit warmer, a high of 48. Tonight, clear, cold, a low of 30. And then Friday looks great, mostly sunny, a high in the mid-50s. Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
Amy and Dan, Riverwoods got a closure of Deerfield Road between Milwaukee Avenue and Port Wine. Crashes and icy conditions. Southbound 83 still closed. 31st to Ogden due to the ice and the crashes. Also farther south from Midway to the Stevenson. In Broadview, Cermak is blocked. Gardner and 17th, the car which went off the roadway. Eden's 26 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 26. Kennedy now an hour and 7 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. A little heavier in the Express. Outbound 48 minutes. Eisenhower an hour and 10 minutes. 390 to downtown. 52 minutes from Manheim, outbound 47 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 18 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 44 minutes. Ryan is 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays. Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Eastbound Reagan Tollway, it's slow going from Orchard to Mill, and northbound Veterans Memorial from I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Settle in while I tell you about St. John's Northwest Military Academy in beautiful Lake County region of southeast Wisconsin.
Let me go get a cup of cocoa.
Yes.
For story time.
Well, it's really a wonderful place. I had the pleasure and the honor of going there a few weeks ago, and they serve young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. And now that same experience is available for young women. Now, this is not a place for juvenile delinquents. Children from all over the country and the world go to St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. I felt like I was on the set of a movie during lunchtime when the cadets ate their meals. It was unbelievable. The teachers were at one table, and the cadets, they managed themselves, getting food, staying in line. There was order. There was no chaos. It was just very impressive young men. You met them. They shook your hand. They looked you in the eye. These are real leaders.
And remorseless killing machines.
And it's a place where they focus on 4 elements: personal growth, academics, spiritual and character development, and athletics. And right now, we should tell you about a few things. First, there's board or they're day boarding for 7th through 8th graders. And they're, again, going full co-ed this summer, beginning with their summer camp program at St. John's Northwestern. It's happening now. There's 4 one-week sessions available. It's limited registration, and you're going to want to sign up your child or grandchild for this because it looks like fun. They play paintball. They go through mud pits. It's just endless activities. So go to 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Dr. Howard has made a great product. I'm so glad that I started taking it.
I listened to all the commercials on the radio. I said, they're right. They're right. I can verify they're right. I feel younger than my years. That make me feel good.
I've been very delighted with Balance of Nature. I have not had a cold in probably 2 or 3 years, whatever I'm on your program. And I also have been told that I don't look my age, which is another good thing because my skin is so nice.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are 2 lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. Over the last several years, it's been difficult for business owners and self-employed borrowers to refinance or buy homes, but that's about to change, Ryan. Tell everyone about your new loan program.
We're really excited to announce the Bank Statement Mortgage. The Bank Statement Mortgage is going to be a game changer in the industry. We're the first people to bring it out to the market. Here's the deal. If you're a business owner or self-employed, maybe you're a dentist, a doctor, a lawyer, a realtor, insurance agent, a contractor, a web designer, whatever it is, you should be taking advantage of all of your taxable, all your deductions. When you do that, you might make $70,000 a year, but after you write everything off, you're down to about $25,000, and you can't qualify for a mortgage on $25,000 in adjusted gross income. Well, I don't need your tax returns, pay stubs, 1099s, or any of that. I'll qualify you on your bank statements. If you're self-employed and you need a mortgage, apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
AM 560, The Answer.
Amy, let me tell you a story about a couple of closers on the order of the old airplane scam from the 80s. Tito and Amanda Watts arrested over the weekend for selling golden tickets to heaven to hundreds of people.
Oh.
The tickets, price to move, actually, $99.99 per ticket.
$99.99.
$99.99. It's very reasonable.
Herman King, $9.99.
Told buyers, the couple, and have you seen the couple?
Oh.
Tito is...
Is Tito the male or the female?
Tito's the male, and he's sort of marked up like a tiger.
Their tattoo artists want to be in prison, and there's really no regulations. So if you want to get your face marked up like that, like a tiger, you can get that done.
So for $99.99, you buy this golden ticket to heaven, and the ticket's made from solid gold that purportedly each ticket reserved the buyer a spot in heaven. You simply present the ticket at the pearly gates and you're in. Seems straightforward enough. The Watts misrepresented their product, though. That's where they got into trouble. The tickets were just wood spray painted gold with "Ticket to Heaven, Admit 1" written in marker. And St. Peter would not validate those. You can't sell something as gold when it's not. That's where they crossed the line to doing something illegal. Now, in his defense, Tito Watts said the following, this from the police statement.
Yes.
I don't care what the police say. The tickets are solid gold. It ain't cut up by 2x4s. I spray painted gold. And it was Jesus who gave them to me behind the KFC and said to sell them so I could get some money to go to outer space. I met an alien named Stevie who said if I got the cash together, he'd take me and my wife on his flying saucer to his planet that's made entirely of crack cocaine. You can smoke all the crack cocaine there you want, totally free. So try to send an innocent man to jail and see what happens. You should arrest Jesus because he's the one that gave me the golden tickets and said to sell them. I'm willing to wear a wire and set Jesus up. I mean,
a new disciple right there.
On Tito, you don't roll on Jesus. Police confiscated $10,000 in cash, 5 crack pipes, and a baby alligator. But, I mean, you do have to give them credit. These two are closers. $99. Baby alligator. Well, of course, with the 10 grand. $99.99 selling these golden tickets. I mean, come on.
Put that coffee down.
You don't say that to Tito because Jesus told him. He got those tickets from Jesus behind the KFC before he boarded the alien spaceship where he met Stevie.
A, B, C. A always B, B, C closing. Always be closing.
And that's what Tito and Amanda Watts were doing.
Oh, that's Fantastic. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll continue our discussion of economics, probably at an elevated level, with Steve Moore, CNN senior economist at 7:37.
And later, the romantic story, the real story between Barbara Bush and H.W. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
33 in sunshine. We like how that sounds. House Republicans are pushing Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein to hand over documents today related to the Russia investigation. The Washington Post reports members of the Freedom Caucus and allies of President Trump met with Rosenstein this week, impressed him over the slow pace and excessive redactions. A powerful earthquake in Iran is being reported dangerously close to a nuclear power plant. Seismologists in France say the magnitude 5.8 quake struck early this morning. The FAA is ordering inspections of jet engine fan blades, like the one that snapped off and caused an engine on a Southwest Airlines flight to explode during a flight Tuesday. NTSB Safety Board Chairman Robert Sumwalt.
We've had an excellent safety record in our commercial aviation system for the last 9 years. So I don't think there's reason for alarm with the traveling public.
Shrapnel from that engine blew out a window, and a woman ended up dying when she was pulled partway out of the plane. President Trump travels to Key West later today as his week-long stay in Florida continues. Cuba is expected to name its first non-Castro leader in nearly 60 years. President Raul Castro will reportedly retire during an assembly meeting in Havana. By all accounts, the 86-year-old will hand over power to his hand-picked successor, 57-year-old Miguel Diaz-Canel. A former Vernon Hills High School soccer coach is pleading not guilty to sexually assaulting 2 students. Corey Beard entered the plea yesterday in Lake County Circuit Court. During that same hearing, a judge denied a request to lower her $1 million bail. The family of a young girl killed by a bus on Chicago's South Side nearly 4 years ago will be receiving a settlement from the CTA. The agency's board approved a $1.5 million payout yesterday. Chicago sports, A's over the White Sox 12-11. Cubs and Cardinals weathered out. The news a service of Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. Now at Staples, get 50% off the HP OfficeJet Pro 6900 series this week only at Staples. Your total printing solution while supplies last. Valid on SKU 225-6781, ends 4/21. 7:34, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I am a Trump supporter.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Now, I am a Trump supporter who will freely criticize the president when I think he's done wrong. And done wrong can be sending out a stupid tweet, raising taxes, or supporting amnesty. Can be anything. It's the issues to me. And when President Trump does something that does not advance those issues, I'll call him out on it.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Print up to 1,000 photos on your phone for free with Free Prints. Download the app and choose photos on your phone or on social media. Prints arrive in just days. Download it now at freeprints.com.
Protect your firearms and valuables with the best money can buy. A Liberty Safe from Maxson Shooter's Supplies and the new LibertySafeChicago.com. Maxson stocks the complete line of Liberty Safes and accessories. You can also customize, configure, and order online at LibertySafeChicago.com. Pick it up at Maxson or have it delivered and professionally installed. Right now, Liberty is offering 0% financing for qualified customers. And during April, you can purchase a Liberty Floor Safe from Maxson at up to $500 off. Owning a Liberty Safe has never been so easy. For over 25 years, millions of American homes have trusted their 100% made in the U.S. Liberty Safes to protect their guns, keep them out of reach of children, and protect their valuables from theft and fire. Liberty stands behind every safe with a lifetime warranty. If anyone tries to break into your Liberty Safe, they'll repair or replace it for free. Choose your Liberty Safe in person at Maxson Shooters Supplies in Des Plaines or shop online at LibertySafeChicago.com.
It is 7:36. Let's get an update on the roads this early morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Mike, we still have some closures due to icy conditions and crashes, including southbound 83 in Oak Brook closed 31st to Ogden, Deerfield Road in Riverwood, in Milwaukee Avenue in Fort Watt, and in Woodridge, 83rd is closed, James to Woodward. Eden's 26 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, an hour and 7 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 48 minutes. Eisenhower, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 47 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 12 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42 minutes. The jam farther south to a crash US 30. Line 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, bottled up Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Reagan Tollway heavy, Orchard to Mill, and 355 to the Tri-State and the Veterans Memorial. I-55 most of the way to 290. Traffic service of Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. Now at Staples, get 50% off the HP OfficeJet Pro 6900 series this week only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last. Valid on SKU 2256781, ends 421. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Breezy today, some sunshine, high near 48, cooler lakeside. Clear and cold, low 30 overnight. 35, next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
See Larry Elder at Cigar Night on Thursday, May 17th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Tickets on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So tax day has come and gone now.
Oh, wait, do over. Are you sure? I'm not going to get another mulligan here?
No, I mean, again, you know.
I mean, I didn't see it coming.
No blame, right. You can't blame the IRS for being a little flat-footed. Tax day can sneak up on you. Now, Tax Freedom Day.
Ooh, freedom.
Tax freedom, where you, stop working for the government and start working for yourself in terms of your take-home dollars. That day nationally is today, April 19th. So today's Tax Freedom Day.
And it's High Five Day.
You got
National High Five
Well,
Day.
you high five over being Tax Freedom Day, except in Illinois.
When it's a low five or maybe no five.
Illinois is later. We're 10 days from now. We're April 29th, which is 47th in the nation in tax freedom. So we're, as usual, in the bottom 5 in any sort of metric that measures quality of life. For more on this topic and the state of affairs with the tumult and leadership at the top of the GOP in the House, which we started talking about a little bit last week with Steve Moore, we're pleased to be joined by the aforesaid Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, senior economist for CNN. Steve, thanks for being with us.
Hi, guys. Good morning. By the way, we just came out with our new rich state, poor state
I know.
rankings of the states.
We had
just when you think, it's sort of like that line from Dumb and Dumber, just when you think you can't do anything dumber. Illinois has actually moved from 46th worst to 48th worst. So
yeah.
Things are not improving in Illinois. The tax burden, the regulation burden, the forced union policies are chasing businesses and workers and capital out of that state. And as we've talked about before on the show, I mean, when you're losing population to West Virginia, you got something seriously wrong.
We actually talked with your economist friend Jonathan yesterday about that very report.
Oh, good.
We were cheating
so
on
you know all about this. I mean,
yes.
It's just I didn't think that things. I mean, look, you're banging right on the door of New York for worst place, and it has to change, or Illinois will. By the way, congratulations! I hear that the temperature is all the way up to the 40s today, so
yeah.
I know that's a heat spell.
so that we got that going for us. Well, let me ask you this, because I put this question to Jonathan and see if you agree. See if there's consensus between you and Art Laffer and Jonathan. All the problems that face Illinois, the unfunded pension liabilities, the high property taxes, highest in the nation, increasing corporate and personal income taxes, and so on and so forth, workers' comp costs. If there was one thing you could do, and only one thing, what would be first on the priority list to most improve the economic conditions in Illinois? Just one thing.
Well, I don't know if I'm repeating what Jonathan said yesterday, our co-author on this, but I would argue that I think that's actually an easy question. I mean, that's a slow pitch right over the center of the plate, Dan.
All right.
And the answer is the state of Illinois must become a right-to-work state.
That's what Jonathan
that's
said.
not anti-union.
Yeah.
Is that what Jonathan said?
Yep.
Look, it's not anti-union. It doesn't say you can't have unions. I mean, I'm not against unions. I'm just against people being forced to join unions against their will. You know, there is a Second Amendment, which basically, I mean, an amendment that basically says you have the right to assemble, the freedom of assembly, which is the First Amendment, actually. And that First Amendment basically says, you know, if you have the right to assemble, you have also the right not to associate with a group. And so this would do wonders. I've talked to CEOs all the time who you know, determine where they're going to put more more businesses, more factories, more plants, more headquarters. And they basically say if a state is not right to work, they don't even consider that state. It's not even in the game. So that would be my number one thing.
Just on that topic of right to work, there's obviously a lot of bloviation coming from both Rahm Emanuel and Bruce Rauner about their proposals for Amazon HQ2 to bring HQ2 to Illinois. Is it your belief that
I'm sorry? What issue are you talking about?
Amazon, the Amazon
Amazon,
HQ2.
Sure, yeah.
So
you're gonna chase those smokestacks, huh?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, well,
but
we made the first round.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
The top 20. But here's the thing: is it your belief that there is no way that Amazon will locate its HQ2 in a non-right-to-work state?
You know, I doubt it. I mean, it's look, Chicago is. Where are they thinking about putting that?
Georgia,
facility?
Texas.
No, I mean we're in Illinois.
The Loop, West Loop, South Loop is a possibility, or
right.
possibly in Oak Brook,
Sure.
where the old McDonald's campus was.
Right.
Because look, I mean, Chicago. I've said this many times. I love Chicago. It's one of my favorite 3 or 4 cities in the world. It is a world-class place to live. They're incredible. It's the capital of the Midwest. It is an awesome city. Great sports, great people. Wonderful museums and culture. I mean, it's just being destroyed by politics. And so, maybe Amazon may think, there's so many great things about Chicago that they will overcome the fact that it's high tax and high regulation. But I doubt it. And look, if you became a right to work state, and by the way, you're being surrounded now by right to work states. You know that Indiana is now right to work. Wisconsin is right to work. West Virginia is right to work. I mean, there's only a few states left that aren't right to work, and so you stick out like a sore thumb. But look, I hope, Dan and Amy, you're not going to provide billions of dollars of Amazon to come.
Right.
Are you?
Well, they're trying to, but it's not going to be enough, I guess, is the point.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't get in a bidding war. I mean, look, I just think it's I don't believe in corporate welfare. You guys have known me for a long time. If Amazon wants to come, great. It'll create a lot of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs for people in Chicago. But to just give them all this taxpayer money when you already have large deficits makes no sense to me.
Well, speaking of welfare and entitlement programs, now that Paul Ryan is going to be leaving Washington, D.C., are we ever going to tackle that issue, or is that just going to be looming out there with, the Dreamers Act and all of that?
First of all, let me say something about Paul Ryan. I don't always agree with Paul Ryan about strategy, but I think the guy has done a great job as speaker, and I know my conservative friends kind of grumble about him. I know you do, Dan, at times, grumble about Paul Ryan. But look, the guy's a supply sider. He got his political and policy education from the great Jack Kemp, and I met Paul Ryan when he was 23 years old and still had pimples on his face. And he is right-minded. We would not have gotten this historic tax cut done without Paul Ryan. So I think he served the country very well, and I'm sorry to see him leave. Although it's probably time. I mean, he's done his time. It's probably time for him to get a real job now. In terms of where the party is headed, I'm a big believer in pressing the envelope on this idea of work for welfare reforms. And this is not because I think we want to save money on welfare. It's simply the way you help people advance economically. You don't do a service to anyone by giving them things for free, whether it's free food, free housing, free this, free that. If people can, my parents taught me something very simple. I have a very great life lesson. Never do something for someone they can do for themselves. And sometimes I violate that as a parent, and I regret it. If your kids can do it themselves, don't do it for them.
No, but it's hard just to tell them to do it when you could just do it yourself.
That is true. But, you don't. It's really true. I mean, it's like, if you start giving people stuff, they feel entitled to it. That's why all these kids on college campuses who've never worked a day in their life think free everything is a wonderful thing. And socialism, what a great system. Everything's free.
Any insights you have on who are going to be the candidates to replace Paul Ryan as Speaker, the prospect of perhaps a Jim Jordan?
Well, of course, McCarthy is the big favorite. I mean, there's two issues here, Dan. One is whether or not Paul Ryan will leave immediately from the Speaker's position, and there are many who would like to see that happen in the House. I believe he should serve out his term through the end of this year, and then it's going to be a free for all. Like, McCarthy is obviously the big front runner here. But, Jim Jordan is a strong conservative, and he has a lot of support. And, there's a reason that McCarthy was not the Speaker the last time around. Remember, it was his term.
Yeah, he couldn't speak English.
Couldn't get
words are hard.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't get the 218 votes, and that's how they ended up with Paul Ryan. I'm not so sure that he can get 218 votes today. But I'll tell you this. I mean, I don't want to be a downer this morning, but I'm not so sure he's going to be running for Speaker next year. He may be running for Minority Leader, and
Right.
Nancy Pelosi may be the next Speaker, God forbid.
Well, let me ask you something else about Paul Ryan, because I understand, and you know this inside the Beltway. If Paul Ryan were to go to American Enterprise Institute, for example, to replace Arthur Brooks, who's retiring, is the new game I understand inside the Beltway is people like Paul Ryan who have big campaign war chests. One of the ways that they essentially convert that to personal use is to go to a 501c3, because you can take your campaign fund, make a huge donation to a 501c3. A charitable contribution is a legitimate expenditure, and then that factors into the salary that they pay you at that think tank. What about that?
Well, that's news to me. I have not heard about that. But look, I think the ethical thing for Paul Ryan or any of these people to do is, you don't get rich off your campaign contributions. I think if any of these guys, I'm not talking specifically about Paul Ryan, what they ought to do, I've got an idea. Why not donate that money to reduce the budget deficit and reduce the national debt? How about that idea?
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair enough. Just wanted to,
I mean,
check.
why
Make
not
sure
do
people are
something to
watching.
actually reduce the deficit, not increase the deficit, because all these guys do is spend and spend and spend. And I got to tell you, I think Republicans are in big trouble in no small part because of this obese spending bill. Everywhere I go, Dan and Amy, I'm in Florida today, people are so pissed off about the spending, and they blame Republicans for it. And how can you not? They run the House and the Senate and the White House.
He is Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, senior economist for CNN. Steve, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right, see you guys. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Yeah, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, the romantic relationship between H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush. There's something else you need to know. But first, on a very special Dan and Amy. But first, here's your forecast for today. Oh, there's that sun. We've missed you. How are you? Welcome back. A high today of 48 degrees. Tonight, clear and cold, a low of 30. And for Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 55. Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic center busy, man, today. There's a lot of headaches on the roadways. Here's Jim Telemonte.
You're not kidding, Amy. Dan in Oak Brook, southbound 83 is still closed. 31st to Ogden, but a number of crashes in that area, and it's icy. Metro trains are stopped on the southwest and Heritage lines with a drawbridge problem. Kennedy, now an hour and 7 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 48 minutes. Edens, 22 minutes, Lycook Junction, outbound 30. The Ike, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound it's 47 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 12 minutes, 355 to the Drive, outbound 42 minutes. Ryan, 42 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 26 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford is 45. Northbound Tri-State delays, Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Reagan Veterans Memorial, very heavy too. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Sam Proft, I'm excited to tell you about the Dangerous Camp for Boys and over 20 other summer day camps from Northridge Prep. What's Dangerous Camp? It's a camp designed to get your boys off their iPads, iPhones, and video games this summer. It's dangerously fun, not unsafe. They throw water balloons, play games, learn the meaning of outdoor adventure. As a listener to the morning show, you've heard me talk about Northridge Prep, the all-boys school in Niles that instills the traditional values you hold as parents. Their summer programs for boys in grades 1 to 8 combine fun, adventure, and character growth. You won't find camps like this anywhere else. A few camps caught my eye, like basketball camps led by a former NCAA Division I coach, Will Ray, and varsity players. Battles of the Civil War, Bugs and Botany, Intro to Musical Improv, even a robotics camp where campers learn to build, pilot, and code their own robots. Get your son off the couch and into the outdoors. You can learn more and register online at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees the difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There's always that time of day when the sun creates havoc at the office.
This is ridiculous.
You're literally blinded by the light. Can't see a thing on your computer monitor and feel like you're baking in an oven. Make your office or storefront distraction-free with custom shades from 1-800-4BLINDS. You'll keep your customers comfortable, protect furnishings and decor from fading, and have happy, productive employees that don't have to stop in the middle of a project because of the glare. 1-800-4BLINDS can get the job done quickly with their local in-house installation crew. You'll save money on window treatments that not only look great, but will also help you shrink utility bills with special heat-reducing shades that can trap heat between the window and shade. They also offer custom painted solar shades with your logo or photo image printed directly on the shade. Get the sun out of your eyes. Call 1-800-4BLINDS direct for a consultation today. 773-447-5448 or visit 1-800-4BLINDSChicago.com. That's 1-800-4BLINDSChicago.com.
Trust, trust, trust. Yes, I said trust 3 times because I want to tell you about a recent AM 560 charity benefactor and company that built their business and reputation over 3 decades by being trustworthy. I'm talking about Dependable Construction and founder Joe Barron. Tuck pointing, brick, and roofing is Joe's specialty. Joe started as a laborer, then progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer.
In addition to masonry and roofing, Dependable Construction has grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any remodeling or construction, you'll deal directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe at Dependable Construction today. Mention AM 560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Call 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091 or visit tuckpointchicago.net. tuckpointchicago.net.
Hey everyone, Ken here from the award-winning company Income Store. If you were lost and scared in a forest, would you rather have a guide map or a guide standing next to you? Both will lead you out of the forest, one's just a bit more expeditious. When it comes to making more money, have you ever felt lost? Does it drive you a little batty when you know there's people out there, teenagers even, that are adding a different revenue stream, even in different industries, each and every year of their lives? Don't you know deep down there has to be a path out of what we call the financial forest? You know it's there, you just haven't found it yet. For almost a decade now, Income Store has provided guide maps to the do-it-yourselfers, the folks that have considerably more time than money, but they've also been the trusted guide to those with more money than time. If you're ready to stop bouncing around this thing we call the financial forest and serious about adding a second, third, or even fourth revenue model to your home or business, then you have to check out the 5-time Inc. 5000 Income Store. That's incomestore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, did you hear the Chicago Bears doing a classy thing to two former Chicago Bear greats, Matt Forte and Devin Hester?
Yeah, they're giving them one-day contracts. Monday, so that they can actually retire and end their careers with the Chicago Bears.
Exactly.
Have they been doing that for a while? I don't.
No, not necessarily. But when the Chicago Bears do it, that is to confer an honor. When Chicago city government does that, that is to enhance a pension in order to continue to fleece Chicago taxpayers. You see the difference? I just wanted to.
You're the only person I know who would compare the one-day contract to government one-day
because
contract.
there are such things that have been done before to enhance pensions.
Really?
Oh yeah. There's no yeah. So it's yeah. So there you go. So I just want to compare when you do something out of a sense of honor for service, as opposed to when you do something as a kleptocrat in this political thugocracy that we have, where it's to continue to fleece well after and into your retirement. See the difference?
Oh, I see. I see. So, for this one-day contract, they just come on Monday. They're going to come and sign it, and are they going to do anything? Just sign it and then be done, or are they forced to work out?
Devin Hester
training camps.
Devin Hester has to return 5 punts in order to get his one-day contract.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the president offering up an optimistic view of his planned summit with Kim Jong-un. We'll get the latest from Jed Babin.
Yeah, and we'll ask him if he got an invite to Raul Castro's retirement party.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Happy anniversary. You said it was 33 years. It's 32 years.
It's 32.
For Mike Scott and his beautiful wife.
Des Plaines, a woman is charged in a murder-for-hire plot. We'll tell you more about that developing story. Tony Preckwinkle becomes chair of the Cook County Democratic Party. Breezy and sunny today. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
New jet engine inspections are coming. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The FAA is getting that order ready for airlines to do ultrasonic inspections on fan blades on engines of 737 jets like the one on the Southwest flight Tuesday. Investigators found tiny cracks, signs of them in the one that exploded, blowing out a window. A passenger was partially sucked out.
Her injuries were substantial. There was a lot of trauma to her head and her neck and her upper torso.
Peggy Phillips is a nurse and told Fox and Friends she was on the plane, rushed back to try and did CPR to help the woman, but she never got a pulse. The 2 black men infamously arrested at a Starbucks in Philadelphia a week ago, leading to protests, tell AP they were just waiting for a business meeting. The manager claimed they weren't buying anything and refused to leave. Rashawn Nelson and Dante Robinson say they want change so this doesn't happen to anyone else. Starbucks on May 29th will close all locations for several hours to give workers racial sensitivity training. Ahead of his planned historic meeting with North Korea's leader, President Trump is leaving himself an out. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
President Trump says he's optimistic of his planned talks with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, insisting he's positioned to accomplish what previous U.S. presidents could not. But he also maintains he'd be willing to stand up and leave the summit should the meeting fall short of his expectations.
If the meeting when I'm there is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave the meeting.
Wednesday's talks between the president and Japanese Prime Minister Abe focused on trade, including the possibility of exempting Japan from new U.S. tariffs on imported steel and aluminum. Dave?
John, the president also said this about dealing with Russia.
There has been nobody tougher than me.
This amid allegations of collusion, which he denies. Asked again about possibly firing Special Counsel Mueller, the president said it's been rumored for months and hasn't happened. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sunshine and 34 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Former Vernon Hills High School soccer coach is pleading not guilty to the sexual assault of 2 students. Corey Beard entered that plea yesterday in Lake County Circuit Court. During the same hearing, the judge denied a request to lower her $1 million bail. Bail set at $250,000 for a Des Plaines woman accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill the wife of a man with whom she had an affair. Prosecutors say Tina Jones paid $10,000 to a company on the dark web in January to have the Woodridge woman killed. Authorities are still trying to identify the 2 found dead after a fire destroyed a home in Highland Park. The blaze broke out early yesterday inside of a home near Kipling and Churchill Lanes. The family of a young girl killed by a bus on Chicago's South Side nearly 4 years ago will be receiving a settlement from the CTA. The agency's board approved a $1.5 million payout yesterday for the family of Cherish Myers. Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle made a little bit of Cook County history yesterday.
I'm proud to be a Democrat. All my life, the Democratic Party has been the party of working families. It's been the party that worked for equal pay.
The former Chicago alderman and teacher was named the first woman and African-American chairperson of the Cook County Democratic Party yesterday. A's outlast the White Sox in 14 innings, at 12-11. Game between the Cubs and Cardinals was washed out at Wrigley due to inclement weather. The news service of Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. Now at Staples, get 50% off the HP OfficeJet Pro 6900 series this week only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last, valid on SKU 225-6781, ends 421. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here is Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, the maker of Crest, Pampers, Head & Shoulders, and many other products is reporting a stronger than expected quarter. Procter & Gamble says sales increased. It's also expanding its food supplement and vitamin business, buying the consumer health business from Germany's Merck KGaA for $4.2 billion. The Marc Jacobs fashion brand is restructuring. Women's Wear Daily says it has laid off most of its Paris-based staff, and there are management changes. 2.5 months after he was hired, creative director John Targan has left the company. Targan came to Marc Jacobs from Baja East. Pier 1 is implementing a 3-year plan to address its weaknesses in the company. Its sales declined in the recent quarter. It is discontinuing its dividend. The Dow was down 38 yesterday. The Nasdaq up 14. S&P gained 2. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
It is 8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder explains why we see so many fatherless children.
The primary reason that we're having the proliferation of kids raised without fathers is because of the ease with which a woman can marry the government and the ease with which this enables the man to abandon his financial and moral responsibility. Overwhelmingly, the reason for the rise in out-of-wedlock birth rate, in my opinion, is that we are subsidizing slovenly behavior.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Are we ready to open next month?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, it's complicated. Fire protection, first aid supplies, uniforms, safety training, mat services. Oh, and restroom supplies.
So uncomplicated. Call Cintas. They'll handle all of it.
Wow, one company can handle all that? That's not very complicated.
So, you'll be ready?
Oh, we'll be ready.
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Your yard is not just a yard. It's a baseball diamond, a water park, a movie theater, and a grand banquet hall. Your yard is where memories are made, and you have the best seat in the house with the John Deere X350 Select Series tractor. Now equipped with the exclusive one-touch mulch control system, you can tell your clippings where to go, out the chute, or back into your lawn with just the push of a button. Nothing runs like family, and nothing runs like a Deere. Visit your local John Deere dealer to test drive one today.
8:06 and a check of your roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Oak Brook, southbound 83 remains closed. 31st to Ogden due to the ice. Metro has big delays on the Southwestern Heritage lines after a drawbridge problem. The Kennedy inbound has big delays starting at Austin. It's an hour and 18 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 50 minutes from Montrose and 38 in the Express. Outbound 51 minutes to O'Hare. Hayden's 22 minutes, like a junction, outbound 30. Eisenhower, an hour and 25 minutes, 390 to downtown, an hour from Manheim. Outbound 59 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour 22, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 42 minutes. Ryan, 46 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, heavy Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State, gummed up from Southwest Highway to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Adams Tollway from Elmhurst Road to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway, Orchard, much of the way to the Tri-State and the Veterans Memorial for 143rd to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update. And from your official Chicagoland weather forecast, 1 hour heating and air conditioning weather center, here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Increasing amounts of sunshine throughout the day today. It will be breezy with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour for the morning, then it will decrease for the afternoon with a high today 48, clear and cold through the night tonight with a low around 30. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Blue sky and sunshine, 35 right now. Next news coming up at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Yesterday, George W. Bush and Laura Bush sat down with Maria Bartiromo, of course, to discuss the legacy of George W. Bush's mom and Laura's mother-in-law, Barbara, former First Lady. But at the end of the interview, Maria Bartiromo asked the president about the current geopolitical landscape, and he suggested that we're forgetting the lessons of 9/11. Former President George W. Bush.
As we see what's happening in the world today, from North Korea to Syria, we still have these radicals trying to undo who we are. Your thoughts on what to do and how to respond to what's happening?
Well, look, here's the thing. If you go down to our exhibit in the museum, there's a very powerful 9/11
I've
exhibit.
seen it.
There are two of them here in Ground Zero. People are forgetting the lessons of 9/11. And one of the major lessons of 9/11 is the human condition elsewhere matters to our national security. It's in our nation's interest for women to be successful in the Middle East, for example, or for civil society to take hold. Because it's with civil society and people having a say in the future of their governments that the foundation for peace is laid. And so my thoughts are, remember the lessons of 9/11.
I don't know if we're forgetting that or not. I think the question is how exactly to affect that, and can we nation build along the lines of the gambits that George W. Bush pursued. For more on this topic and all of the underlying implications, we're pleased to be joined by our friend again, Jed Babin, former Deputy Undersecretary of Defense, contributor to the Washington Times and the American Spectator. Jed, thanks for joining us. What do you say in response to what the former president had to say?
Well, I think President Bush served extremely well, and I think some of the lessons that he is pointing to really were never learned. It's not a question of forgetting those lessons. It's a question of even defining what they really are. And President Bush, again, I think he served tremendously, far, far better than many presidents would have in those circumstances. But one of the things he rejected, and we've talked about this before, is to take on the ideology of radical Islam. The Islamists have an ideology which propels them and always will. It has for, 1,100 years. And unless and until that ideology is defeated, all of these groups will continue to rise, no matter how many of these guys we kill. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for killing the bad guys. But no matter how many of them we kill, unless we defeat their ideology, which Mr. Bush was refusing to do, we can't win the war. It's unfortunately as simple as that.
Well, it sounded like he thought that we should police the world. Do you feel that that is our role?
No, I don't. I never have. I think that there are circumstances where we have to intervene, where our national security interests are at stake. But in places where our national security interests are not at stake, it is a huge mistake for us to intervene. And we can debate forever about the Iraq War. Looking back on it, I was one of the people who supported it. I don't think I should have. I think I made an enormous mistake. I think President Bush made an enormous mistake in invading Iraq. But having said all of that, again, we need to go to war only where our national security interests, our vital national security interests, are at stake. And unless we make a very clear determination and the president convinces the nation that we need to do it, I don't think we should be doing those sorts of things. We're not the world's policemen. Never have been, never should be.
Speaking of poisonous ideologies, how about the communists 90 miles south of Florida in Cuba? I don't know if you got an invitation to Raul Castro's retirement party, but his
sounds like a real shindig. Huh?
Yeah, I bet it will be. His successor, Miguel Diaz-Canel, has been named. What do you expect, if anything, different with the transition of power in a post-Castro Cuba?
Well, I'm hopeful that the quality of the cigars will increase, but other than that, there's not a darn thing. No, I didn't get the invitation. I don't think I would have gone if I had, but again, the cigars probably were pretty decent. And no, at the risk of being serious here, nothing is going to change in Cuba. The regime is deeply implanted not only in the society but in people's minds. People in Cuba don't refer to the year as 2018. They refer to it as, I think it's the 68th year of the Cuban Revolution. Mm-hmm. That's how they figure time. They're so ingrained, they're so, frankly, brainwashed into it. Nothing's going to change down there in the foreseeable future.
So President Trump, with the Prime Minister of Japan yesterday, was talking about North Korea seeming pretty optimistic about their upcoming meeting.
If the meeting, when I'm there, is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave the meeting. And we'll continue what we're doing or whatever it is that we'll continue. But something will happen.
Do you I know they still have to choose a location, either Thailand, Sweden, Switzerland, possibly Seoul. Do you think it is in our nation's best interest for the president to sit down with Kim Jong-un?
Well, yeah, I think it is. I think he is playing it exactly right, at least so far. If we do not have an agreement on the agenda, if we don't have a good start to the meetings, the president should walk out, as he said he would. And, if the South Koreans come in with a positive agenda and try to make an agreement with North Korea even beforehand, that might be good. Mr. Moon, the president of South Korea, says they're doing that right now. And if Kim Jong-un shows up to the meeting with Trump and all he wants to do is harangue the president about, real or imagined problems that, he blames on us, the president should walk out. There's no reason for the president of the United States to sit down and listen to that crap, frankly. And, he's going to have to play it as he sees it, but I think he would be right in walking out in such circumstances.
Circling around to Syria, this questioning the official story about the chemical attack that precipitated the missile strike is not just a fodder for, Alex Jones conspiracy theorists anymore. Rand Paul questioning the official storyline, saying he hasn't seen the intel. And I'll leave it open if you want to make certain comparisons there. But is there any doubt in your mind, or do you think it's legitimate to question whether or not it was the Assad regime behind that latest chemical attack in Douma?
Well, look, there's always questions, but I think Rand Paul is, he's as much of a conspiracy theorist as anybody you're going to meet. He and his father, let's put it this way, he's a chip off the old blockhead, and I don't really take him seriously on anything having to do with national security. So having said all that, the real question to me is, yes, we hit them. Yes, we probably should have. But the question is, what next? And there is no policy towards Syria or what we're going to be doing there for however long we're going to be there. As far as I can see, there is no policy. The president has not described one. And as far as I can tell, there is not one. So we have to come up with some sort of a policy that protects the Kurds and, quite frankly, otherwise just ignores Syria. We have to protect Israel. We have to protect the Kurds. Other than that, I just don't see why we're in there.
What about this suggestion that was made by Mark Dubowitz from Foundation for Defense of Democracies in the Wall Street Journal to slap sanctions on Iran as a way to stop Assad? He points out that Iran spent about $15 billion last year to bolster the Assad regime. They spend between $700 and $800 million each year to prop up Hezbollah, terrorist organization. And so why not reinstitute the sanctions on Iranian banks that do business with Damascus or with Hezbollah and trying to cut off the money the same way we're trying to cut off the money to Putin?
Well, that's a nice idea. I think it's too late. I think the Obama nuclear weapons deal, which Mr. Trump presumably is going to revoke on May 12th, really took care of all of that, and the Europeans are not going to join in new sanctions. The Europeans are desperately trying to convince Trump to not cancel the deal. They want to continue things where they are, and they're buying oil from Iran. So Iran's going to have money, regardless of what kinds of sanctions we put on there, if we do not have international agreement on those sanctions. So with the oil prices going up, which, by the way, benefits Vladimir Putin tremendously, the oil prices are going up, and Iran has a big supply of it, and it's just a question of what people are willing to do, what sacrifices they're willing to make. And I don't think our NATO partners, Europe, the Brits, the French, Spanish, and so forth, they're not going to be willing, nor are Russia or Germany or China, to be willing to cut off that deal and suffer the economic consequences. So, a long way going about saying, nice idea, but ain't going to happen.
He is Jed Babin, former United States Deputy Undersecretary of Defense, contributor now to the Washington Times and American Spectator. Jed, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, despite his grief and pain, Jeb Bush shows up in Chicago yesterday. But first, here's your forecast. Today, breezy, some clouds, some sun, all sunshine right now. We welcome it back. A high of 48 degrees tonight, clear, cold, a low of 30. And for Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 55. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. At Oak Brook, southbound 83 is still closed. 31st to Ogden Avenue. Some of the other suburban road closures are no longer in place. Roads have reopened after the ice has melted or been cleared. Edens runs 22 minutes from Lake Cook to Kennedy. Outbound 35 minutes from Kennedy. An hour and 4 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 42 minutes from Montrose. 38 from the Express. Outbound 48 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and 28 minutes from 390 to downtown. It's 57 minutes from Manheim. Outbound an hour and 7 minutes to 390. Stevenson an hour and 16 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 42 minutes. Ryan 46 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State. Jam. Southwest Highway to 31st up from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. It's about Adams Tollway delays. Elmhurst Road to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from Orchard much of the way to Midwest Road and Veterans Memorial from the Des Plaines River Bridge up to 290. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, homeowners often say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't worry about your living room getting wet, do you? Then why do you want to worry about your basement? Permaseal believes that your basement should be dry all of the time, no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. So give Permaseal a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate and transferable warranty, so you can rest assured you're getting the best value. You know, back in 1979, Roy Spencer started Permaseal, and it's still a local Chicagoland business whose purpose is to make the world a better place, one basement or crawl space at a time. Your basement is already dry some of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal at 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
Looking to refinance your home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Sally's heard hundreds of Team Hochberg's ads, so naturally she called the nation's largest online lender, obsessed with their Rocket, because she saw their ad pumping gas. Bad move. The Rocket-loving lender quoted Sally a rate higher than us, and closing costs $6,000 more than Team Hochberg's. We explained the exorbitant closing costs and refinanced Sally into a lower rate and credited all of her closing costs. Team Hochberg doesn't have a Rocket, but we have lower rates and substantially lower closing costs than the nation's largest online Rocket-loving lender. You could call the nation's largest online lender who spends millions promoting their Rocket by charging excessive closing costs, or you could call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's helped me tremendously, the product. You know, I cut down on colds. I have more energy. It really helped me with allergies. I mean, I know that they're there when they're ready to kick in, but they don't kick in. And I don't really have as much sugar cravings as I used to have. So it's definitely been really good that I went on this.
I have seen a tremendous change in my skin. My skin looks really, really good, and I love it. I had eczema like on my arm and my elbows and all on my feet. I mean, I was so embarrassed. And now I don't fear anything. I wear my arms out. You know, everything is cleared up so nicely, and I love it. I love it.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
You've heard us say if your roof is needy,
Call Crumweedy.
Also, if your gutters, siding, windows, or entry door is needy,
Call Crumweedy.
What's that all about?
This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy.
We created a special deal just for you. Replace your roof and receive free gutters. Or replace the siding or windows on your home and receive a free entry door.
We'll do a great job, and you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that is up to manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is intact.
And get free gutters or an entry door as a thank you. Some restrictions apply, and this special won't last long.
We fix roof, siding, and window problems. We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you. If your home is needy,
Call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Jeb Bush was in town yesterday in Elmhurst, and I understand the featured dish for the lunch was guacamole.
Stop it. No, I couldn't believe it. He still showed up for this 11th annual event, and he said his mom would have wanted him to be here because he made a commitment, and you have to keep the commitment.
I'm so blessed to be her son. She taught us to serve others. She taught us to be civil. She taught us to love your family with your heart and soul.
Yeah, and then they went on. They had a sit down. So he spoke for what was supposed to be half hour, like 40 minutes, and then he sat down and they asked him about, her last.
Is anybody still awake?
Will you stop it? This is very serious. This is the last final hours and how his dad, H.W., was with his mother. This is romantic. This is love.
He held my mom's hand all day long yesterday, and she passed in the early evening. And I called him, and he said, I'm kind of a crybaby right now, not feeling very good.
Yeah, because he had just lost his wife of 73 years.
Right.
President Trump, they asked him about, the passing of Barbara Bush and the relationship.
She was a good person. Melania and I send our prayers to Barbara's husband of 73 years. I'll never beat that record.
It's not a competition, President Trump. But
yeah, whatever.
All right,
people get ridiculous. It's just ridiculous to be parsing his words like that. It was a fine statement.
No, all right. Well, you keep saying George H.W. Bush is a little stiff, but I've watched so many stories about their relationship, and they were fun. And she said that they stayed together because of the fact that he had a sense of humor. And
the guy was a cut up.
No,
Everybody knows George Herbert Walker Bush was hysterical.
No, they would be jabbing at each other, and he patted her once on the tuchus. Like they were a cute couple.
They were Jewish?
No, I'm sorry. No, they would have fun together.
Sure, when he did his Shecky Green routine.
And then, and those love letters when he was in war. Oh, he read them.
I love you, precious, with all my heart, and to know that you love me means my life. Little did I know I was only trying to keep up with Barbara Pierce from Onondaga Street in Rye, New York.
Oh,
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, stop crying, honey.
So that professor at Fresno State who tweeted those awful things about Barbara Bush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad the witch is dead and all this
Yeah.
stuff. That's a great spokesman for the hating, spiteful left, the cultural Marxist left that, of course, dominates academia. She hasn't apologized for that, but the president of Fresno State University apologized for her. All she's done is take her Twitter account private.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
Coward. The viewing.
Maybe the Fresno State Board of Trustees would want to weigh in on this topic.
Funeral, public viewing for Barbara Bush tomorrow in Houston. The private funeral is on Saturday. Former President Obama and his wife are going. The Clintons are going. Of course, obviously, W will be there. President Trump is not going, but representing the White House will be Melania.
I want to see if the Onion covers the Onion headline on this, on Barbara Bush's passing.
Yeah, what did they say?
It's not as good as when Gene Siskel passed away.
Yeah,
the Onion headline, Ebert victorious.
Oh my God.
It's The Onion. It's supposed to be a little
All right, so what did the
cutting
Onion
edge.
do, this satirical
The Onion,
paper do?
Barbara Bush passes away surrounded by loved ones, comma, Jeb.
Oh, that's so mean. She loved him too, Dan. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Stiff competition in the world of Undertakers at 8:38.
But first, into the newsroom we go. A man who's celebrating his wedding anniversary today.
I am.
33, 32 years.
32.
Come up with a number.
49.
What are you doing tonight for your wife?
I'm going to a water polo match.
Oh, that is
Welcome
really
to having 4 children.
so romantic. Enjoy your
really,
evening.
It really is. All that chlorine. We're watching sunny skies develop over Chicago and 35 degrees. Those parents out there, you know who you are, who've been waiting for baseball and softball games to get underway. You might get your wish today. 2 are dead, another 5 injured. We're watching developments surrounding a shooting in Asheville, North Carolina that developed overnight. 2 of those injured have life-threatening injuries. Police responded to the scene around 11:30 last night. They're not releasing much more information. A Minnesota attorney will announce later this morning whether there will be charges in the death of Prince. The announcement comes 2 years after the music icon's body was found in an elevator at his Paisley Park estate. Prince died of a massive overdose of fentanyl in April of 2016. President Trump hopes to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in the coming weeks.
If I think that it's a meeting that is not going to be fruitful, we're not going to go. If the meeting, when I'm there, is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave the meeting.
And alongside Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, the president said the U.S. campaign of maximum pressure on North Korea is working.
The fact is that they do have 3 prisoners. We have been talking about them. We're negotiating now. We are doing our very best. As you know, they've been there a long time, and it's harsh treatment.
Other stories we're following this morning. Western Oklahoma still dealing with raging wildfires. 280,000 acres have been burned. 3 men are convicted of plotting to bomb a mosque and an apartment complex housing Somali refugees in Kansas. Authorities continue investigating the death of former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster's father. H.R. McMaster Sr. died at a retirement community in Philadelphia last week. A former Vernon Hills High School soccer coach is pleading not guilty to sexually assaulting 2 students. Corey Beard entered that plea yesterday. During the same hearing in Lake County Court, the judge denied a request to reduce her $1 million bail. And the author of a plan to ban tackle football for anyone under the age of 12 in this state says she does not have enough support to pass the ban. State Representative Carol Sente fumbled the introduction of that bill and yesterday said now there's too much opposition. Sente argued parents need to learn the link between tackle football and brain trauma, but experts say teaching proper tackling is the key to safety. Athletics outlast the White Sox 12-11. It was a 14-inning contest. James Shields takes the loss. Cubs and Cardinals at Wrigley wiped out because of weather. The news a service of Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. Now at Staples, get 50% off the HP OfficeJet Pro 6900 series this week only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last, valid on SKU 2256781, ends 421. 8:34 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher isn't going to get pushed around.
There's so much ugliness out there, and I admit I kind of contributed to it yesterday. Now, you know me. Somebody calls me and acts like a jerk to me, like a few of you did yesterday. I'm not going to just roll over because I didn't like the way the tone went with some of our callers.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've been taking this probably about 2 years. I haven't had a cold or the flu since. I know it works. It does work. I'm one of those individuals. I own my own company. I run like a nut. So I don't have the time to sit down and have the fruits and the vegetables and everything like that for dinners and all that stuff. So it's a tried and true product. I believe in it. I can safely say have not had a cold, have not had a flu. I do believe in it. I do believe it works. I do, I know the vegetables and the fruits and all that stuff is the best for you, and this is a great way to get it, and it's natural and it works.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
It is 8:36. Let's get an update on what's happening on the roads this morning. Hopefully things are improving along Route 83 in Oak Brook Terrace in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. He's got his eyes on that and everything else. Here's Jim Talamonte.
It was really messy there this morning, Mike. Good news now. Everything is open again, including 83 between in the area from Oak Brook down to near Hinsdale. 83 again is open. It had been closed due to the icy conditions and crashes earlier. Kennedy's heavy with inbound delays starting at Foster, an hour and 4 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 42 minutes from Montrose, 38 in the Express. Outbound 48 to O'Hare. Eden's 22 minutes Lake Junction, outbound 35. The Eisenhower, an hour and 28 minutes from 390 to downtown, 57 minutes from Manheim. Outbound an hour and 7 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 16 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 42 minutes. The Ryan is 46 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-state delays are northbound, Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Adams Tollway, there's a jam from Elmhurst Road to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway, Orchard to Yackley, and 355 to Midwest, and the Veterans Memorial from I-55 most of the way to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Breezy today. Clouds have left this morning, leaving behind sunny skies. We'll top out near 48. Clear and cold, 30 overnight. 55 tomorrow. Currently, 35. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Great coffee, period.
I don't understand why this movie was so popular.
Well, you see it with
Cultural appropriation, too, isn't it?
You see it with children, and you don't have any yet.
Time to talk about the circle of life, life and death, Amy. Very interesting piece by Glenn Stanton at the Federalist. You know how Toys R Us is shutting down? Toys R Us.
I know. Babies R Us.
Yeah.
Anything R Us. Going away, our childhood.
As Stanton writes, they recently got T-boned at the intersection of need for growing customer base and declining birth rate boulevard. In other words, Jeffrey the giraffe has been put down. Their official statement noted something, though, that is underreported, and Stanton picks up on it. Most of our end customers are newborns and children, and as a result, our revenue is dependent on the birth rates in countries where we operate. In recent years, many countries' birth rates have dropped or stagnated as their population ages. The population bomb, exactly the opposite of the one Paul Ehrlich imagined. 55 million abortions in this country. And as Glenn Stanton writes, you can't become a Toys R Us kid if you never get to become a kid. It's a big problem for everyone. Only one developed country in the world is producing enough children to replace and grow its national population. That's Israel. And America, in Mark Stein's book, talking about the demographic problems for the Western world, it's what he was suggesting based on the numbers is coming to pass, and now even the politicians, the leaders of these countries, are starting to figure it out. Listen to some of these campaigns that have been launched throughout the world by governments to encourage their residents to procreate. These are all of the big government, abortion on demand, eugenics folks. But they are looking at a demographic destiny that they want to avoid. You never watch Battlestar Galactica because you're, not a nerd.
Too soon.
Yeah.
And then I think James Olmos was in that.
Edward James Olmos, yes, Admiral Adama.
Yeah, it's too soon. I'm crushed.
Still not over him. I
No.
understand. It's the stash.
Why do you have to bring it up?
Well, because there's an episode in Battlestar Galactica where the president of the, Federation is forced, because of this small group of humans who've survived, forced to repopulate the species, right?
So he hooks people up with each other?
She's so sexist. Why did you assume the president of the Federation was a man?
Thought he was a man, baby.
So she decides to ban abortion, even though that's not her personal view. But she's facing a demographic destiny she has to deal with, and so this reversal in policy, this policy choice that is at odds with her personal belief. It's very interesting. So, for example, Denmark.
Oh, yeah, there.
The Danes. Do It for Denmark is a major advertising campaign that explains the national dangers of falling population growth and encourages Danish couples to go on vacation.
So they can spend some time together.
Yeah.
And so they can procreate.
They get busy.
Yeah.
10% of all Danes were conceived on vacations. Danish couples have 46% more sex on holidays. How does anybody actually know that?
Because they took a survey, Dan, and they were honest.
Because they're Orwellian. They're probably watching over there in the Scandinavia. Do It for Denmark. So there's Denmark.
There's a hashtag for that.
To ensure Denmark doesn't merely get one-time parents, they also have a Do It Forever for Denmark loyalty program, asking new parents.
Loyalty program? It's like a frequent flyer program?
I mean, seriously, they're commoditizing parenting, or producing children at least, asking parents to keep at it. The ad promises the more children you have, the bigger discounts you get on your next vacation trip.
Where do I sign up?
So on the one hand,
can I get dual citizenship over here?
On the one hand, we subsidize killing children, and then on the other hand, they want to subsidize having children. Yeah, this is the government's typical, like taking blood from one arm, putting it into the other, and spilling most of it.
Okay.
Japan.
Yeah.
Scientists are creating a robot baby they hope people will take home, love, tickle, play with, and then catch the parenting bug for actual human children. And Japan, is perhaps in the worst situation of demographically. As Mark Stein famously said, Japan would have been better to invent the walker rather than the walkman. Zing. The small nation state of Singapore, encouraging their couples to participate in a national night where patriotic husbands and patriotic wives are encouraged to get together and manufacture a life. And you thought the Bushes were romantic. And help Singapore get that baby bonus. Huh?
Okay.
It's like an Elizabeth Barrett Browning poem, those Singaporeans.
Do you really believe, just upon what you wrote, that Toys R Us and Babies R Us closed because of the number of abortions be performed in the States?
Their official statement, let me read it to you again. Most of our end customers are newborns and children, and as a result, our revenue is dependent on the birth rates in countries where we operate. In recent years, many countries' birth rates have dropped or stagnated as their population ages. That is certainly the case here in the United States, and we've had 55 million abortions since 1973. So do you think that has an impact? Yeah.
I thought it was just the online market and Amazon that played a factor.
That's not the only factor.
Okay.
That's an additional factor. 55 million children who are not here, one would say would be a factor. And Toys R Us is the one saying it. Russia, day of
their birth.
So the same thing. They're death spiraling. Day of conception, a day off work for the sole purpose of getting busy, so that parents may give birth to a patriot. This is like official government propaganda and programming. Leaders in Georgia